There he is. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Let me reposition you a
it's
little
in my
bit.
face.
Yeah, I'm gonna reposition you a little bit here. All right.
Whoa, moving.
You're moving. It's moving. I'll make you a little bigger so you match me a little bit more.
Hi, chat.
All right. We have AJ here. Jeff is out on assignment, as they love to say.
Being lazy.
Yep. All right. Let's ask AJ a question. Check audio levels. Let's see if we're both good here. AJ, what is your favorite star?
I don't have I have a nebula that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's not the question.
Yeah, I know. Do I have a favorite star? I don't know.
Can you
What are
name any
star
stars?
Yeah, Alpha Centauri.
God. Okay, that's one.
The sun. I
There
like
you
that
go.
one
This is
because it
pretty
keeps
well.
me alive.
All right, you like the sun? It's
Yeah.
a good star. How's the audio there, everyone? How does AJ sound compared to me? We good? Is that yummy?
I like Altair.
You like Altair? I like it. I like it.
Starfy's underrated.
Altair, Deneb, Vega,
Yeah.
the summer triangle.
Okay. Is that yummy, everyone? Let me know, chat, if that's yummy. I'm going to tweet, which means you're not going to see AJ for a second, probably.
Literally nobody in chat is paying attention to the podcast. There we go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You have to, something, you do have to beg for that sometimes. I get it. You're not here to be my tech support. I understand, but I'm tech support. I understand. You can hear that go. Oh, there you go. I had to get the link
Where'd I
for
go?
the YouTube thing. I
my
had to
face
change an audit. I told you. I warned you that you were not going to see you for a second because I have to
I'm
tweet.
sorry. I was
You're
tweaking
also
my
not paying
brightness.
attention. Why isn't anyone pay attention to me?
The match
Because
is
there's
Maybe it's a you problem.
Mike, there's a dog on
Oh
GameStone
my
Click. Come
God.
on, you knew what you were signing up for.
Argentina is playing the match. Like, I don't know. It's cold. There's a lot of things going
You
on.
two want the day off. You don't have to be here. You can take a vacation. No,
You
no.
have to post the podcast, I guess.
Look, I'm just hanging out. I'm working on my secret project there while you're
Oh,
doing
yes,
this.
right.
Ooh,
The important
nice.
seeking project. What is this, Jeff? Okay, I do have to. Okay, you're gonna be back. All right. Let me open up the intro. You guys aren't gonna hear the intro. You're gonna just hear me come in
It's
though.
okay.
Oh, God, that's the other thing
Gross.
I gotta open up is the rundown. I gotta just put that over here, I guess. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's a mess. We're getting there.
It's a mess. It's cold. The game is on brand.
Yeah, this
Man.
is like when people were expecting more of Unprofessional Fridays the other day. I was like, yo, come on.
It's in the
Wow.
You know
name.
what show this is.
You guys, chat, you heard that song that was playing there, right? Chat. I'm imbibing. I got Mexican lager. You heard it? Thank you. All right. I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
So why don't we go?
Celebrating DAWNTRAIL. Yeah, let's do it. Do a countdown, please, so I can like time
Yeah.
out the music.
All right. Do you want me to count down one, or do you want me to do like the silent last three?
It's just do
do the
whatever.
Jeff. Do the Jeff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait, my face is still gone.
Oh my God! 1 second.
All right, restarting the
That's
recording.
That's because I didn't open up this thing, right? That one's on me. That one's on me. All right. Okay, that one's on me. All right. For real
Whatever.
now.
Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world game so you don't have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Mike Minotti. With me is...
AJ Minotti.
And today, Final Fantasy DAWNTRAIL is out. Resident Evil 9 confirmed, kind of, and the Mount Rushmore of video game expansions. But first, AJ... how is it going? Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm very.
Did you miss the
full.
first part of that question? Are you all right?
Like people like ask you how you're doing. They don't really care.
No, I'm actually
you don't
care.
care. You just saw me.
This is an audio podcast. I need you to actually say words. It's not just a formality.
Okay. Oh, how nice of you.
Yeah.
You're so caring. I'm good. I'm good. We ate some barbecue and we didn't blow anything up though. It was raining.
Yeah, it was kind of a rainy day. Yeah, we were hanging out for 4th of July, and that's happening right now. So that's exciting. But yeah, it was a chill 4th of July. Well, the kids were being loud, but they're being kids. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
They weren't misbehaving. They were just
being kids, and I get it. Yes. Our dad had our dad has this house and has like this big open space that's like the dining room and the kitchen and living room. It's all one room. And I think that seemed like a great idea. But now, we're always in the same room as the
right?
screaming
There's
kids.
No relief.
And they couldn't go outside. So they were just kind of screaming in, the living room while we were in the kitchen. But that's all right. They're kids. They're allowed to scream a little bit. I'm not going to be too old and cranky. I've got a few more years there, I think. But, I don't know. Otherwise, did you have a good 4th of July?
Yeah, it was a nice, chill, relaxed day, all things considered. How about you?
Oh, it was pretty good. I slept in a lot. I stayed up very late playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night because I'm pretty close to finishing it. So I was trying to, I want to do that, but it was so late. All right, I guess I'll stop here. So I won't say what time I woke up. It's an embarrassing time. I will not admit it on here, even on holiday.
Let's just say you got 8 hours of sleep.
I got my 8 hours of sleep still, despite perhaps falling asleep when the sun came up. So you can
do the math.
You can imagine. Jeff is on vacation at the moment, so thank you, AJ, for jumping in here. But this works out because Final Fantasy DAWNTRAIL is out, the big new expansion.
What does he know about this?
Not much about that. So me and you will be able to talk about that. We're also going to do, I said this, a whole Mount Rushmore video game expansions later. I think that'll be a fun segment. But you can get more from, this is all the stuff that Jeff says here. This is when I usually glaze over. He's doing this bit again. You can get more from me and Jeff by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/GameS. Give us a good rating wherever you're listening and hit that like button on YouTube, please. If you want to ask a question, you can drop a super chat during the show on YouTube. Thanks to Carlos Ayin and Stay in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thanks to 1UP vs. CPU for our artwork. You can find more at 1UP-vs.CPU.com. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. You can support us by going to patreon.com/GameS. That gets you access to our Discord server, the monthly Q&A, participation in the game club. It says monthly here. It's becoming a little bit bi-monthly lately. I'm not going to lie. Things have gotten busy there. 1 month early access to new episodes of Game S Jeopardy. We're also... okay. And Columbros. Oh, yeah.
You guys need to pick up the slack. I'm just saying.
There's a lot going on. We're working on it. Friendly reminder. Does he always say these things still? Well, friendly reminder. We have a variety of ways to become a supporter, including Patreon, YouTube membership, and Twitch subscriptions. I don't even know if he says any of these things anymore, but they're on the doc, so I read them.
So you read them. Good job.
AJ, are you ready to get into some of the topics now? Some of the news?
I am ready.
Not that it was a huge news week. I mean, things are slow anyways because a lot of the big summer events are done, and we obviously have a holiday here in the U.S. in the middle of the week. But there's still some nuggets to talk about here. The Resident Evil 7 director, Koshi Nakanishi, has kind of confirmed the next Resident Evil, kind of, during the Capcom Next Digital Showcase, just kind of talking about it. Like, yeah, that's happening. Nakanishi said, it was difficult to figure out what to do after Resident Evil 7, but I found it. And to be honest, it feels substantial. I can't share any details yet, but I hope you're excited for the day I can. So, Nakanishi here, director of Resident Evil Village /7. But not of 8, and hasn't really, at least as far as I can see, hasn't done anything really since then, so presumably has just been working on whatever this project is. There were rumors before it that this is going to be an open world game, kind of one of the 3 big open world projects that Capcom's working on, along with Dragon's Dogma 2, and I can't remember what that third one was.
Monster Hunter Wild.
Was Monster Hunter Wild the other one? That makes sense.
And this is because they had to adapt the RE engine to open world for Dragon's Dogma 2, so
right.
They kind of have that tech base now.
And that's interesting because, Dragon's Dogma 2, I liked it. It wasn't super my thing. Performance was an issue on that. And at least the demo that I saw of Monster Hunter Wilds was frame rate wise running better, although that demo was crashing a lot during Summer Game Fest. But again, that game's not coming out till next year. You can't read too much.
Supposedly there was a recent Dragon's Dogma 2 patch that addressed some of the CPU issues. I don't know how helpful it was, but that was like last week it came out.
We'll see. So yeah. But yeah, Resident Evil 9 has been rumored to be a more open world thing here. Presumably that's the next Resident Evil we're going to hear about probably even before another remake here, because we did have Resident Evil 4 remake last year, so you would think 9 would be the next one we hear about. Although there's all sorts of rumors going around about what remakes are going to be next, with the latest ones being that it actually would be Code Veronica after all, is perhaps what we might see. But I don't know, AJ, kind of remind me, actually, like, how much of a Resident Evil person are you?
Not a ton. I'm about where you were before you started really playing the games.
Right.
Like I dabble. I don't think I've played any of 7 or 8, actually, which is funny now that I think about it. But I played, a chunk of 4, and in the past I played 4 and it was new, Code Veronica, the first 2 we rented a bunch. But I'm also kind of a coward when it comes to things like that, so I don't think that's really my hang up anymore. I just I don't know, haven't gotten back into them.
I don't know what it is with you and our other brother Chris, where I did nothing but rave about the Resident Evil 4 remake all last year, about how it was the greatest game and one of the greatest years of games ever, and neither of you seemed very interested still.
No, but here's the thing. I did play it. I just fell off it.
Yeah, how could you possibly fall off it? It's
what I think? I think I did. That I needed to just not worry about. I got really obsessive. Were there like blue things you're supposed to shoot all over the game to do something?
Yeah, sure.
I think I got too hung up in those, and then lost my flow, and then just the game felt boring because I was just walking around looking for little blue lights.
I'm curious to see what Resident Evil 9 is going to look like, aside from being open world and what that means. What can change?
Will it still be first person? Will they keep that?
Yeah, I don't like. Look, I liked Resident Evil Village. I did. Mm-hmm. I actually never played 7. I just watched a playthrough of it because I was a coward. So I know what happens in 7. The first person thing isn't necessarily my favorite way of going about it. I definitely prefer the third person Resident Evil 4 method. There, even Resident Evil. Like the Resident Evil 2 remake, that controls immaculately to me. So that I definitely prefer third-person Resident Evil. It's not some big deal breaker. But even just like the way it helps characterize people, right? Like the whole Ethan Winters character thing, and they were like real weird about the fact that you don't know what he looks like. It to no end, as far as I can tell, right?
Like, I don't really understand. Like some like disfigured face or something. He's just a guy,
right? And it's like, well, it's not like I'm supposed to think he's me, because he's a very distinct named character with like a very like specific personality and specific relationships to all these characters. So I never really understood why they were being so coy about that. And yeah, they did patch third person into Village eventually. I never tried it that way. I don't know if that really, I don't know if it suddenly feels like Resident Evil 2 remake because they did that, right? I guess I'd be curious to see what that's like. But I don't know. I'd be happier if it was just like kind of the Resident Evil 4 style Resident Evil 2 remake style, but it's not some big deal breaker. Now, when they say open world, AJ, what are you expecting from this? Are you expecting something like kind of like in the wilderness or big, or do you think it's going to be like in a city, like the ruins of Raccoon City kind of open world?
I mean, city makes more sense. I mean, especially because like didn't 8 have a lot more kind of a rural setting?
Yeah, 8 already had a rural thing. Even 7 was kind of like small town. I am kind of ready, I think, to get back into a city with Resident Evil. I think that would be good. And no spoilers or anything, but it won't be Ethan Winters as far as I can tell. And we did have that DLC for 8 that I never played, where you play as her daughter some years later. So the DLC had a flash forward already. So there's a lot of questions about what a Resident Evil 9 is actually going to look like, who you are going to play as. I mean, there are so many good playable characters in Resident Evil history, and Ethan Winters was fine, but I sure would be more excited if you told me I was going to play as a Jill or a Claire or a Leon. Not Chris. Chris is a boring cop. He can go to hell. But there's a lot of fun characters in there that I'd be more than happy to bring. But hell, let me play as Barry again. I'll play as Barry. That's fine.
I wonder if it is open city kind of game, if they would go like as far as to put more like human NPCs who are either fleeing or even helping you fight using this similar technology to Dragon's Dogma 2, kind of make it feel like a little bit more of a city in chaos instead of like a deserted place.
Yeah, I guess
That'd be kind of cool.
It's just I have some questions about how that's going to work because like Monster Hunter and Dragon's Dogma use a kind of lot of emergent systems, whereas Resident Evil is like the best games are pretty finely crafted. How those encounters are going to go down, right? Things are placed very meticulously. I wonder if the Resident Evil format is really going to hold up if you start kind of leaving a lot of things up to systems instead. Maybe I guess I'm a little concerned exactly what that's going to look like, but we've also have had a lot of Resident Evil games. It's okay to take a different swing on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you could do something even where like almost imagine like in the city you're going to buildings that are like dungeons, and that's where your more kind of crafted traditional Resident Evil experience happens. But when you're moving from place to place in the city, that's where you have emergent stuff that's going on, and you can find secrets out there and kind of explore that way.
Yeah, I do hope that we still kind of like go inside buildings, and it does feel like you're in the police station from Resident Evil 2 or something, or the mansion in Resident Evil 4, something like that. Yeah, I don't mind having some open world overworld, but I don't know if I necessarily want. I don't want Dragon's Dogma Resident Evil necessarily, but maybe I do. Maybe I don't know what I want. That's been the case many times in my life. They've been doing a very good job with the Resident Evil series the last decade or so. They deserve some grace here. So I'll be interested to see what this is when we do see more about it, which probably won't be anytime super soon, I think. But it was interesting that they did talk about this at this kind of this weird little Capcom Next Digital showcase thing, which was like this kind of like, all the summer stuff's done. Oh, Capcom's still talking about a couple things over here. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, next up here, Nintendo won't use generative AI in its first-party games. So this was some interesting kind of quotes here we got from Nintendo's president. It says, in the game industry, AI-like technology has long been used to control enemy character movements, so game development and AI technology have always been closely related. Generative AI, which has been a hot topic in recent years, can be more creative, but we also recognize that it has issues with intellectual property rights. We have decades of know-how in creating optimal gaming experiences for our customers, and while we remain flexible in responding to technological developments, we hope to continue to deliver value that is unique to us and cannot be achieved through technology alone. I'm pretty happy to see Nintendo kind of come out and be a bit more like, no, we're not doing that with some of this generative AI stuff. A lot of the generative AI that we've seen in video games, and there's been versions of that in gaming for a long time. But you know what? It makes me think of, AJ, as the kind of hack job that we got on those GTA, like 3, Vice City. Like,
exactly.
Right. And that was like, that's a premier franchise with, a premier
from a
games.
Studio that can afford to do it themselves.
Right, and it's like, oh, this is slop, right? They used AI, and it was kind of one of the first, like, big times I was really aware of it, and it was slop that we got delivered. So it's like, well...
I like the weird, subtle shade in this. Like, he's basically saying, like, look, we don't need AI. We're good enough. We're way better than anything some shit AI can do.
Yeah, so I am kind of glad to hear them come out. And look, obviously, video games uses AI in various ways all the time. Of course, and the difference there with generative AI and what that means. But it's, I guess, I'm glad like Nintendo's not like, yeah, we can use, because other CEOs would be like, yeah, we can use AI to make a video game level. And
yeah, right. We'll use it for our Web3 game that's going to make all the money.
Right. So I guess I'm glad that the tone here is more against than for. It's it's maybe not much, and maybe it's just language. And AI is coming, of course. But still, I find that somewhat heartening from Nintendo. Hironobu Sakaguchi has no interest in bringing Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon to new platforms. This is part of a new interview with Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. There's kind of a few nuggets there talking about like, oh, do you want to go back to Final Fantasy? And he was kind of like, not really, because I like Final Fantasy XIV a lot, and I don't really want to be like part of the factory anymore. Basically, he's happier being a fan these days, which is fun.
Good for him, I say.
Yeah. Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon wasn't that, wasn't. I didn't necessarily get a clear picture of why he didn't want to go back to support those, but also,
Yeah, it feels like the kind of thing like it'd be an easy payday in a way, right? Like if that just like came out on like Xbox Series and PS5 and Steam with like 4K, you'd sell a few copies, right?
yeah, but also you don't need Sakaguchi to do that necessarily. So
who published those? Is that Xbox?
It might have been. I was at Miss Walker's the name of the studio. I forget who the actual publisher was. You can look that up. But they do have good. At least Lost Odyssey has good backwards compatibility. I assume Blue Dragon does also.
Yeah. They both are on backwards compatible on Xbox consoles. I don't know if they got like all the 4K and frame rate boosting. I think they got the 4K.
Yeah. So by new consoles, hey, would it be nice to have those things on a Nintendo platform or even on PlayStation platforms? Sure, that'd be fine. That could maybe still happen. You don't necessarily need to have Sakaguchi in the trenches for that, and maybe some other improvements. I don't feel so bad that I never played Blue Dragon. I never really cared too much about that one. Lost Odyssey, people love, and I never really played much of it. It's one that's kind of on my to-do list. Maybe part of my problem is because it's so kind of landlocked on the Xbox, and I don't. I really. When I play RPGs, especially JRPGs, that is almost always a portable gaming system in Betty by time kind of thing that I do. So there's probably is a way I can do that now.
Well, both were published by Microsoft Game Studios.
Well, that's an issue.
Yeah, I played a good chunk of Lost Odyssey back in the day. It's good, but it had some very slow sections.
It's funny because
really made me fall off it.
Honestly, these days, whenever I hear anyone talk about it, they're glowing. So
right, and I think there's a little bit of self-editing going on. Like I remember there was one particular moment early on. It's like one of the whole tricks of the story is your character is like some sort of immortal or just really ancient.
Yeah, there's like gods and like kind of more normies. The gods and the normies.
And you're like early in the game, your mother dies, so you go to her funeral, and you have to like light these funeral torches. And like you're stuck at like a walking speed, and it just took like a half hour. And you weren't doing anything; you were just walking from torch to torch. There's no dialogue. There's nothing. It's like, wow, this is really boring.
See, I'm curious because I played a lot of RPGs, JRPGs. I'm like I could be used to that. I don't know. I do want to try it. So I'm either gonna have to actually just use the backwards compatibility to really do it at some point, or I don't know. Some
Maybe you
these
could,
things might get ported.
I wonder there's a 360 emulator that runs it well enough.
360. It's funny how like you say 360 emulator, and I'm like, I don't trust it. Like, no, that system's too new. I
right.
I've never tried.
I know what you mean.
I've never tried an emulator beyond PS2. I think I'm just like, no, that's not right.
I tried a couple PS3 games and it felt weird.
It feels weird, right? So you're right though. It's not. Those are ancient consoles at this point. So I probably should try it out that way. We'll see. Next thing, we actually got some new NSO games somewhat randomly over the week. A bunch of NES games, 7 of them. A big dump of them. A big fat
big old dump
of NES games for NSO here. We have Atlantis no Nazu. This is a Japanese game, I think, that Japan's NSO already have, and now we have it. Cobra Triangle. Oh, we only got this, not Japan. This is probably the highlight of the group, AJ, for me. Cobra Triangle is a rare game. It's a kind of top-down game where you play as a speedboat with a gun. So
okay. Yes.
Yeah, this game always looked really fun to me. I never played much of it, so I do want to try out Cobra Triangle. Donkey Kong Jr. Math, which is what it sounds like. Golf. Now, this is the golf game. We had, like, NES Open on here. Fuck that. I want golf.
OG golf.
This is like the game our dad, I think everyone's dad played on the NES.
Well, that was when Dad came home with the Nintendo. We had 3 games. We had the pack-in triple card of Mario Duck Hunt Track and Field. We had Mickey Mouse Capades. We had golf.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first video games we ever played with our father. It was the only time he ever beat us in a video game, I think, until we figured out how to play it, and then we beat him.
I have to admit, I don't usually feel very old. The fact that one of the first games I had was just called golf makes me feel old. that I was alive at a time when the golf game was called golf. All right. Mach Rider. This is the motorcycle game. Solar Jetman and Urban Champion. So golf is neat. Cobra Triangle, I think, is really cool. Otherwise, this isn't some amazing dump of NES games. Not that there aren't too many more reasonably we can expect on the NES front, because it's either like big third-party games that are already available in paid collections, like your Mega Mans and your Castlevanias and your Contras. Like they're not going to put Castlevania 1 or Contra 1 on NSO, unfortunately. The one that I'm still shocked we don't have is Star Tropics 2. I don't know why. That's just Nintendo first party. I mean, I know it was a late NES game and it didn't come out in Japan, but so what? Just put that ROM on there, please. So that one is.
Is there anything else
annoying.
missing?
I mean, from like Nintendo proper, maybe chat can help me out there, but I think we've got all of the big Nintendo like first party stuff at this point, which is why. But there are other rare games on there. I think we do have Snake Rattle and Roll there. Getting Cobra Triangle actually is one that I wanted to get on there.
Yeah,
I don't know if we have Battletoads on there. But chat, help me out. Do we have Battletoads on NSO? We should get Double Dragon and Battletoads, which is the much better game for sure.
Right, as we discussed.
Yeah, shout outs to our best crossovers in gaming episode from earlier. Yeah, so you don't think we have Battletoads? That's weird. We should have Battletoads on there, absolutely. So there are still NES games to be had, but hey, if you want to dump a bunch on there, that's fine. I think the NES library is the biggest one, which of course makes sense. It's the oldest. Makes sense. It's the oldest console on there, but I would love to see us get some more. Fire says stop saying dump. No! But I'd love to see. It's been a while since we gotten Genesis games. So that's what I would really like to see. Yeah. All right, AJ, that's it for our news here. Why don't we take a short break? But then I believe we've got some super chats we can look at. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back, everyone.
Break.
All right, everyone, we can get right back to it.
Yep, I'm good to go.
You guys, chat, do you hear the fireworks that are going off here? I'm not sure if you do or not.
I don't hear anything.
No. If we don't hear it,
good.
we might not hear.
All right, we're ready. We can just get right back into it.
Yep.
All right.
Ready. Do it.
And we are back. AJ, would you please read those super chats, sir?
Okay. First one is from Zubimer. And, they say Sony dedicated 1/3 of their presentation to the only objectively non-exciting title of any of the summer 2024 publisher presentations. Are they stupid?
Wait, what? Now, help me out. Which game are we talking about?
I believe we're talking about Concord.
Oh my god, I forgot about Concord again.
Which I realized I was actually updating my fantasy critic because I remembered, and I picked that up in the beginning of the year because it's like all we knew was like it was some new shooter from Sony. I was like, oh, that could be big, so I have it.
Yeah, it might be all right. I mean,
yeah, I might get some low 80s. We'll see.
People played it. They said it's fine. It's just so hard. It's just so hard to tell, right? Like,
well, we're gonna get an open beta of it in July, and I'll play it because I'm curious. I don't know. I feel like this is bad timing.
Oh, sure.
I don't know why.
Well, it should be good timing because like
it should be good
because Overwatch 2.
There's nothing else out right now.
Overwatch 2 is like it's of course doing fine in some ways, but a lot of people fell off it. Right? So, like a lot of people would look for something. Like Overwatch 2 is maybe not quite where WoW was when Final Fantasy XIV like really popped off, but it is kind of like that. A bit. Yeah, it's...
like I feel like if I was gonna play a shooter right now, I'd pick up Destiny 2 again because this new expansion I guess is really good.
Sure, but it's so hard getting back into this.
But then I'm also like kind of looking at Black Ops 4 coming out soonish, and I'm like, that actually looks like something like I haven't played a Call of Duty earnestly in a long time. I'm gonna get it on Game Pass. Maybe I might just wait for that and be good. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll play the beta and love it. That's possible too.
My expectation is kind of like, and maybe this is pessimistic, is Foam Stars, right? Maybe it'll make more of an impression.
I didn't even realize
that
came out.
Right, like Foam Stars came out. I don't even know if it's like getting supported still, or like, but like even if you were the finals, when the finals came out with some momentum.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
And already huge might be pushing it, but
everyone was talking about it.
Everyone was talking about it.
They had the spotlight for a little bit.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a spotlight at least, and it already seems like it's kind of like on the way out, right?
Well, did you see these reports too that like Helldivers has dropped 90% of its players?
Yeah, I mean that's not like insanely shocking. I mean
that's a little shocking. That's a lot.
It's difficult for a co-op game, kind of like that, right? And
Right, like once one person stops, kind of your whole group
right.
stops.
I mean, at a certain point, I had fun playing Helldivers 2, and I played a lot of Helldivers. It's I even play as much of it as some people, and I really liked it. But
Yeah, same.
I don't know how many times are we gonna.
I got my $30 worth or whatever, right?
Right. I mean, that's a game that kind of I think almost needs the expansion model more than just like updates are of course important, but you kind of need big things to happen to really get everybody excited to come back and see what's going on with that one.
Okay. Next up from Uriel Delgado. Curse you, Bailey! You will rue the day. Is this a wrestling thing? I don't know.
No, this is this is an Elden Ring thing, AJ.
This is that guy that you fought with. Okay, I remember this.
This is the
now.
guy.
I watched
Yeah,
you
this
do
is the guy that.
dragon.
This is the guy that Grubb just killed immediately because he's got. I don't know what his problem is.
Chef said I killed him because he yelled at me. That's what he said. He was like
Is
he
Jeff's
threatened
name
me.
Bailey?
I guess he's.
Yeah, I was like, you're not Bailey nor a dragon. So I don't
Jeff's
know
just
what's going
very impulsive, I guess, because it's like, man, like you've played 100 hours of Elden Ring. How do you not know that NPCs who talk to you are important? Like they're very important. You don't just kill them for funsies. Jeff, yeah, I think that's the other thing. I think Jeff is like, I'm on right now. I'm on the content. It'd be fine to kill him. I don't know. Maybe Jeff disagrees with that, but he shouldn't have killed that NPC. He's gonna miss out on some hot screaming content later.
Oh yeah, that fight watching you do it was very fun.
Oh, you watched me fight that dragon?
I think I watched it after the fact, but yeah, it was a cool fight.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Have you? You're not doing. You never beat base Elden Ring.
No, I think I'm at the point where I could beat Moog. I just never did. But so last week there was a night where I was going into the evening like I'm gonna sit down and fire up Elden Ring, and it was like one of those nights I was just so tired. I was sitting there in front of the computer. I'm like I don't have the energy for Elden Ring, so I played like 30 minutes of Starfield and then went to bed.
You gotta stop playing Starfield.
I like Starfield. Though.
No,
Starfield
you're
is
wrong,
my
though.
Starfield is my like mindless. I don't need to think. I just want to like chill
That's
and
true, at
vibe
least.
kind of game.
That's true, at least. All right, next.
And then DAWNTRAIL came out, so I haven't gone back.
DAWNTRAIL will keep
I
you
will.
busy.
Right. All right. From Napper, did you play any Cataclassic, AJ? No.
0.
0. Well, here's my thing.
You're more of a
Warcraft is-
retail guy, anyways, AJ. You don't strike me as a much of a classic guy.
Yes and no. So they're doing a weird thing to me right now.
This
where
is World
there
of
are
Warcraft
now
for people who don't know.
Yes, there are so many versions of World of Warcraft now, and they're all kind of like cool when you start them. So I keep like bouncing around and not sticking with. Like I played a shit ton of Phase 1 of Season of Discovery, which is like the kind of twist on Classic they did. Haven't touched it since Season 1 ended. Like I maxed out a character in Season 1. And then I started playing some alts and got them almost maxed. And then Season 2 came, didn't play it. Then I started playing the
Pandaria remix?
The Pandaria remix, and I got to like level 40, I think. And then I don't know, like I just for a week didn't play because I was doing something else and just haven't gotten back to it. So like I don't know, like when Cataclassic, I was like, I'm not gonna put time into this. I'm just not. Again, DAWNTRAIL's out. If I was gonna play, I'd rather play remix. So.
Okay, I mean, Cataclysm Classic's weird because, like, I didn't like original Cataclysm, you know?
Right, I thought the whole point of Classic was to undo what Cataclysm did to the world, so it feels like...
Right, but I mean, I get it.
Why do we go here?
Well, eventually you have to, right? Because, time is linear. It's like, you have to...
But when do they stop? Like, when does Classic just catch up?
You don't, I guess. Oh, I mean, if you
are we going to have Dragonflight Classic in a year? Like,
I mean, it doesn't have to. If you space it out, right, it would never catch up, right? It's just going to always be 10 or so years behind.
The rate they're going, they're going to.
It seems like, they might just slow it down or something. Right? I don't know. But like, because
Classic is like the anime to the manga of regular WoW. They had to constantly chasing that.
I've been playing Remix still. I obviously not since DAWNTRAIL came out, but I want to at least get like my one character to max level. I got like one of the expensive mounts. I want to get one more.
War Within.
Because I am excited for War Within, and I
am too. I am too.
I do want to play that.
All right. Let's see. El Grug says with. Oh, I'm sorry. I should mention that was Napper's 5th super chat on live. So thank you, Napper. El Grug says with everyone beating Grubb's times in Monkey Ball, how confident is Mike that he'll best Grubb's times in Nintendo World Championship NES Trademark Edition?
So, okay, I want to be careful here. I think with anything that isn't maybe 2D Mario, because Jeff's pretty good at that, I'm the favorite on everything else. I think.
Okay.
I think that, I think that I just, I'm very talented. I'm very dexterous, and I have more free time than him, right?
There you go.
Which
that's the secret. That's the secret.
That is
not having children really helps.
Yeah, that's a big point on that one there. So, we'll see. I'm super excited for that to come out. I know, like, Nintendo keeps releasing a lot of videos, like, deep diving into it more, and I haven't even really watched them, like, because I'm sold. Like, I'm there. I'm going to play it.
They did a treehouse stream that I caught the end of. It was like two of the guys in the stream. One of the modes you could do is just a split screen Super Mario race through the original game. It kind of guides you towards the warp zones because it wants you to do that.
Yeah.
And it was an exciting race. It came down to like a 1/10 of a second at the end. It was insane. So yeah, that's gonna be. I got that in my fantasy critic team too. Actually, no one bid on it, and I was able to snag it.
Can you believe we're being Can you believe we're being counter programmed by that dog playing baseball? By the way,
that's just rude.
I kind of want
to. Dog know better.
Kind of wish I could watch it too. I shouldn't even say it. No, don't worry about that dog playing baseball. Everyone, it's fake probably. You're hoping tricks.
No way.
Come on, dogs can't play. Nothing in the rule book says a dog can't play baseball.
A dog can't play baseball.
Next,
Brian Lawley with their third super chat on live. Says, I saw the Grifters recently going after DAWNTRAIL and Tiana's Bayou adventure. Since Disney and Final Fantasy XIV are two of Mike's favorite things, does this prove he is the leader of the work journalist cabal? What say you, Mike?
It's true. I am.
Oh,
in fact,
exposed.
In fact, I have a deeper secret.
Ooh. Go on.
I am the character from Mortal Kombat 3, Cabal. I have been this entire time.
You're literally the work journalist cabal.
Yeah, I wear a gas mask with like a really greasy ponytail, and I have one of those fucking vampire weapons for some.
Show us the hooks.
Yeah,
show us the hooks.
And when I run by you really fast, you spin in place for a while. So that's my deep dark secret.
That's why, because you are the fast.
I'm Cabal. Yeah. Yeah. It's God. Just I am in such a just ignore that man point, and I think it's the only thing we can do.
Yes. I don't even know what man we're talking about, but yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, Chris Pratt writes in.
Oh, no.
Pitching my friend Miyamoto-san one of these new MMOs where a lot of the people stomp the Yupas together. Reminds me in the arcades as a kid.
That's a brilliant idea, Chris Pratt. Okay, somebody at some point in Nintendo must have pitched like a Mario MMO, right? Maybe you think nobody would dare.
No, they would never.
No one would even like bring it up in any official capacity. Like, should we at least look into this?
Nope.
You don't think in like 2004, 2005, World of Warcraft's huge. We's not even out yet. Times are tough. What are we gonna do? Like somebody wasn't like, is there something here?
Nope. Didn't even think about it.
That didn't even cross their mind. Okay, you're probably right. They could have used the We Speak for mass communications. We Connect 24. The infrastructure was there.
It was there all along. I think the Miiverse is the closest they ever got.
Do you think when Nintendo had Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube, do you think that confused them and scared them?
A little bit. But then they made that keyboard controller, so maybe they were all in.
Keyboard controller ruled. That's good stuff.
It does. Yeah, that's good. All right, Burrito says, a small tip for the gift of Nintendogs on a holiday. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. See that? We're making time and a half today.
Yeah. Granted, technically game aside, but it's funny, Nintendo is the one doing most of the news this week, it seems like.
Yeah, right. All right, well, that is it for the Super Chats for now.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, write more, and we'll read them and talk about them and make funny jokes.
What I actually want to do, AJ, right now, I know we normally talk about video games kind of later, like towards the end of the show, but I want to talk about our DAWNTRAIL impressions right now before we get into the topic.
Let's bring back Mike's adventures in Final Fantasy.
Oh God, that's yeah. If people don't know, AJ and I's.
That's for the OGs.
Yeah, we did our Exploding Barrel podcast together, like starting like 2007. That's when I was playing through the Final Fantasy series, most of it for the first time. Fun stuff, but yeah, DAWNTRAIL. The what is this? The 5th expansion now for Final Fantasy XIV? Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
there's Arena Reborn.
Yeah, which is
Stormblood.
No, you
Shadowbringers.
you already skipped one. You already skipped Heaven's Ward.
What did I skip?
You skipped Heaven's Ward. You said Realm Reborn. You said Stormblood.
Oh, you were right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's a demerit.
Back in your hole.
But no, it's so AJ, I'm not like super far into it really. It's in the main story quest at all.
I'm further than you.
You are.
I finished it.
Oh, you finished it? That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can maybe I'll give you permission to join this conversation at appropriate times, Christian. Because I've been enjoying it so far, but again, I'm not very far. I'm again basically the second open zone. AJ, you're a bit further than me. But it's interesting because the vibe in the community, it seems different this time, AJ. And part of it, I think, was inevitable because this was always going to be it was always
a reset.
Well, it's a reset in some ways. It's a bit of that Marvel problem that they had with Endgame, right? Everybody has problems when you have the word end in your project, I guess. Where Endwalker was an end in a lot of ways. It's always kind of awkward to be like, and it's going to keep on going because, of course, it's going to, because nobody really wants the party to end. Square Enix doesn't, obviously, because it makes a lot of money. The players don't because they love the game and they want more of it. So even though we did have this big kind of payoff and finale to the story, there is more. Then the other side of that is everybody always says like, oh, the stakes are always so high. Let's do something a bit more chill. And then when you get that, I think a lot of people are then like, oh, this doesn't feel important now. Right. So that stuff is like some of it where I'm like, okay, maybe it's predictable. The part where I think maybe Square Enix didn't help themselves in so much of this has a focal point character called Wook Lamont, right? The female Rothgar, and I do actually like the character, but whether I like the character or not, I'm a little surprised that they did the thing they did with Stormblood, which is the least popular of the expansions, at least in terms of main story quests, where it was very much about another character, and you were kind of that character's bodyguard in a lot of ways. And everybody kind of criticized that. So I'm a little surprised that we are just sort of doing that again with Wook Lamont here.
I mean, it's a little different, and without giving anything away, because I'm a little further along, like, it may shock you to learn that there's some character development that's happening in this story that I think like people are, making their kind of snap day one judgment, because she does do that kind of annoying RPG character thing where she's like overly confident and braggadocious, but doesn't really have anything to back it up with, and you kind of just want to like call her out in her shit, which you actually can do.
Right, and Aravel's there for that.
Choices sometimes.
Aravel's there for that.
Does that too.
Aravel, you're perfect, babe.
Aravel's great.
Aravel,
yes.
You're fantastic. I'm
Aravel
so happy you're there. You are great. You just keep doing what you're doing, Aravel. Love you.
But as far as like the story too, because it's hard to figure out where it's going to go, like from all the pre-release stuff. And in a lot of ways, this felt like Final Fantasy's Mist of Pandaria, where it's like,
yes, I thought the same
continent,
thing.
And it's like kind of like there's not really anything going on, but we saw where Mist of Pandaria went. It goes places, and I could see where this could go. So it's not like I don't feel like nothing's at stake right now. Like there's plenty going on. It's just not the end of the universe.
I can say that it goes places without spoiling anything, but like there's a grander thing going on after that. So
Did you like it, Christian? Just kind of like broadly?
Just a thumbs up, thumbs down.
I loved it.
There we go.
Well, I'm biased because I'm Latino, and this expansion feels very Latino. Like the diversity and everything. There's a story about like understanding other people. Like because the thing you're doing here, you're helping this Wook Lamont going through this
kind of a Game of Thrones of sort, if you would.
Kind of, yeah. It's like this like test for her to become like the ruler of this country. This form of different other like tiny societies, and so you go through see every other society how like they're like what they eat, like their customs and stuff, and you like you find meaning of life.
But Christian, I mean, really, how much big band music do you listen to? Being a Latino.
No, not a lot, but I don't know.
That did throw me for a loop. I mean, so the music that plays in the main city of Toriola it's a bop. Like it's a great track. Yeah. It's like it sounds like Hey Pachuco a little bit, but it's like not what I was expecting at all from the city music. Yeah,
it's good music. I wish it was a little bit more like
authentic.
But like this is a fantastical world, and they took inspiration from the real world, and when they do take inspiration from the real world, they use it. They do it very correctly, and like they
Right.
nail like the essence of what they use in. So I really it's just good. I'm really fan of like this type of story too, like the all like walk the same path like your ancestors did, like to see what's the meaning and that kind of stuff. I really like.
Yeah, and I've seen some people kind of complain like, "Oh my gosh, it's like a barrage of lore and proper names and stuff like that." And it is, and maybe they could curb that a little bit.
A lot of proper names with hard pronunciation.
Also,
the funny thing is, a lot of the names, they look weird, but when you do just read it out loud, they're actually not that bad, I've found.
I think they're right,
like
but I think that's also been every expansion in a lot of ways. And that's kind of
I want to go something and be like, name all the zones from Shadowbringers. Like, no one knows.
Someone could, but
do you remember Ilmeg, Mike? Really?
Yeah. The other kind of complaint I hear, and again, this is something that has been a thing with Final Fantasy 14, is like, just you don't actually fight a lot of things in the main story quest, huh? And
yeah, I
always
was surprised by that.
I think that the philosophy has been, hey, fighting trash mobs in the open world and MMOs is actually not that exciting or engaging. And I generally agree with that. That's not typically very interesting content. And yet, I think going like 3 hours without fighting a single thing in the main story quest is maybe a bit much. So I don't know if you like.
Yeah, there's a middle ground. Like, so I really felt that with all the post Endwalker patch content. Like it almost felt like a walking simulator.
Yeah.
With some dungeons.
And there was like a lot of like. What's the technical problem here with like ether and like we're gonna it kind of became Star Trek technobabble but with ether for a little bit there. It's like, guys, you don't really need to explain to me like how in universe you're like solving this science problem. That's okay.
Right. Now, I mean, I'm very into the lore and story, so I'm fine with it, but I can understand why. Like, prime example. So my daughter has been dipping her toes into the game on the Xbox with the free trial, and I'll play with her. And she's just doing the beginning MSQ in A Realm Reborn, and she's already complaining like, I just want to fight stuff. I'm like, you will, but you got to talk to these 10 people.
Yeah, you're like, getting engaged, whether you like it or not. Right?
There's world building, damn it.
Yeah,
we're setting the stage.
But again, like I think that the vibes in the world, it looks incredible. Of course, like I love the kind of tropical and the Central and the South American locales. The aesthetics are very good. I'm not far enough in the main story quest to really make a judgment on that stuff, but it is interesting because the vibe seems a little different in the community this time around because there are a lot of people.
This is how they were feeling post Endwalker, even in the patch content too. Like, I don't know what the malaise was there. Again, this is the first time I'm current with the game, so I don't know what the expectation was for a new expansion.
I think that
I think a lot of it has to do with again the kind of story reset and where we are as far as.
I mean, again, it's that endgame problem. It's something that the MCU has. Like, you did finish the story, and it's kind of it's always a little awkward to kind of finish a story, and well, we got to keep going anyways because for one thing, again, there's a lot of money on the line, and also like everyone really likes it. People do want more, but no one's ever quite sure what more should look like. And this is supposed to be the start of a whole nother storyline, so it does have to be a lot of setup. I mean, what's the weakest part of the last major story arc? It's A Realm Reborn, right? Like, of course it is, in a lot of ways. But, I think maybe there are things in the future they can do to help the pacing a little bit, because it is a lot in the beginning. And now,
but here's the thing, too. So I've done 2 dungeons and a trial so far, and they're phenomenal.
Right.
Like, the dungeon and trial design is I think some of the best it's ever been. The first trial fight, without getting into specifics, and I just did the trust version because I like to do the trust the first time. I like the little incidental dialogue with the characters, and it just lets you kind of learn it at your own pace that first time. It was fantastic. Just really cool mechanics, really good visual flair to it. I enjoyed it immensely.
And Yoshi P said that was kind of a big focus, was to make encounters a bit more exciting and give more variety to them. And everybody does seem happy on that front. That's kind of a weird thing with the way we evaluate Final Fantasy XIV expansions, that it seems like 90% of it is just the main story quest, which of course it's a big chunk of it, especially in that first month. But everybody thinks Stormblood is the worst of the expansions because it has the weakest main story quest, even though there's a lot of good there. But Stormblood also had like probably two of the best jobs added in any of the expansions, right? Red Mage and Samurai are both a ton of fun. It has probably it has like my favorite of the 8-mans and the Alliance raid series and stuff like that. So like some of that stuff just doesn't seem to get accounted for in the consideration when we're talking about what's a good and what's a bad Final Fantasy XIV expansion.
It's folly to judge any MMO in its first week. Like it just hasn't had time to shake out yet. Like you just can't.
And I've actually I've been spending a lot of my time leveling Pictomancer already, which is one of the new jobs.
Ask you, how is that?
If people don't know, like this is like this is the new magic casting job, but you're an artist. It's based off of a character realm in Final Fantasy VI. I really like it. It's been my favorite job added to the game in a while because much as I like Endwalker, Reaper and Sage, the new jobs there, they were both fine for me. They didn't do a whole lot for me, but this job is actually really fun. I've been enjoying.
It seems broken. I hear people it's like it does too much damage.
Oh, really?
It's becoming a problem for like tanks, where like tanks can't keep up with the.
So yeah, that because like the problem is that in the beginning of fights, you can pump out a lot of damage very quickly. So like they actually said in like a blog post today, like, oh, we're gonna make it so tanks get more amity in the beginning, so they can hold aggro because I think Pigmenters especially are pretty front loaded in their AOE damage at the moment. But it's just kind of a fun job. It's like the aesthetics are very good, but the rotation also feels good and makes sense. I haven't really played Viper too much yet outside of the preview event I went to, but I am excited to try that one out as well. So ultimately, I've been enjoying the expansion. It's kind of a little weird. I almost wish I can experience it in more of a bubble and not kind of like just see like. There's a lot of chatter, right? There's a lot of people being like, oh, I don't really, like this main.
Hey, you know what I just do? I don't listen to any of it.
Yeah, I know. It's a problem.
I really don't. Like, I've been staying off the Reddit. I don't really see anything on Twitter. I'm just playing the game and having fun. Turns out that's a good way to approach it.
Some of us have jobs that require us to be involved in the discourse.
Yeah, I know.
and all that stuff. So, but no, I am.
Did you
enjoying it?
You got your collector's box, right?
I got my collector's box. You can't see it.
Did you put it all together?
Dude, yep. I got my Viper standing up over there.
Behind me there too. But you can't
redeemed
see
your code.
I redeemed my code just earlier today, so I did that. Jesus, AJ.
It's right here.
No,
look at my beautiful boy.
That wasn't the problem, AJ. All right.
Enjoy the show, everybody.
For free? Wow.
I expect some super chats for that.
Oh my god, people don't really have to pay for that amount of coverage.
No pay up.
Were those Halloween themed undies?
No,
they're just orange.
They're just orange.
They're just orange. Incredible. Thank you for show and tell there, AJ. Why don't we all take a quick break? We'll be back and we're gonna talk some more about expansions here in a little bit. It's gonna be great.
I certainly saw expansion right there.
I'm gonna do this.
There you go. Very carefully.
There you go.
All right, let me get this scene. How am I gonna do this exactly? I might have to like.
There you go.
The fireworks are popping off now. 1 second.
Fireworks are popping off.
No, just do it like you were doing it.
Wait until you see the alpacas. Then it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 expansion.
Alpacas? Oh baby.
Yeah.
Can I do it like
I love
this?
them. They made it. They're so cute in this game.
I've gotten alpacas, and Wuklamat does not like them.
Wuklamat don't like. Yeah.
Wuklamat thinks they're gross, and I'm like, Wuklamat, come on.
Bro, they're gross. They're fucking.
Watch out, they spit.
Yeah, they do spit. Alpaca and guanacos, they're kind of like alpacas, but like taller. Those also spit a lot.
Oops, don't mind that. I tried to get this set up beforehand, and I almost had it, but then I forgot that if I don't have Discord open, we don't see AJ, so I'm refiguring this out real quick.
You can open Discord on the Chrome tab if you want.
It just doesn't. Yeah, no, I got it. Just give me.
All right.
I'll get there.
I believe in you. You can do it. I know you can do it. Remember when I told you like put the other game on a tiny corner? You were like, I can't do that.
Yeah, then it did.
did
I
it.
apologize. I apologize.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I was like, no, you can, Mike.
You were right.
I was.
Tell your sister you were right. That's a Star Wars reference, everybody.
Yeah, that's a good job.
I gotta add this scene again. I don't know why it's not working. What do I call that? Window capture at existing sheet. Where's that sheet?
Yeah, I got. Yeah,
There we go.
I'm like, I was playing some those level 100 dungeon, and every dungeon is a Pictomancer and a goddamn Viper, and I already know the Picto's gonna get fucked up. So I'm like, I'm healing the Picto before I heal the tank when the trash mode happens. So like, yep.
This.
I didn't even realize that's the thing that was happening. I was like, oh, it's a new expansion, and everybody like maybe the tanks are like rusty, and I got unlucky, and the tanks don't know how to like pull properly. So I'm just like, I wasn't like, I didn't thought it was like, no, the fucking Pictomars are fucking shit up.
Right, I'm ready. I'm gonna get a drink real quick and put the AC up a little.
You better run.
Too many games. I got whenever I try to log in, it's fucked up because now when I come out of work and I try to log in, the fucking queue is like 2K people. It's like, no, that's.
Oh, was it bad? It was fine yesterday. I was shocked.
Oh, yesterday was fine, but like,
Has it been
the other
that
days
bad?
were like bad. But
No.
what I did is like, because I just got Elden Ring, I should play Elden Ring during the queue times.
I think the first 2 nights the queue was in like the 400s, which took less than half an hour, and it's been less than 100 ever since. So they did something right.
Man,
Yeah, today was fine.
You know it's good when you log in and you see your character because that means there's not much in the queue.
Yeah, I see. Yes, that's true.
Yes, all your suggestions are good on this. AJ, could you I can't really look at the thread, so you're gonna read that for me if you don't mind.
Oh, let me find it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on podcast thread. I can link it to you.
Man, I'm out of my Mexican lager, so now I have to drink a power up porter, and it doesn't really feel like a porter day. But you do what you gotta do.
Find this thread.
I posted it on this chat on the.
Oh,
Twitch
thank
chat.
you. Okay, let me get back to that then.
Yeah, I've been playing that CCC between the queue times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the First Descendant.
It's a good
There's too many
game,
games. Too many
ZCC.
good games. CCC is really. I mean, the second I saw this, I didn't even saw any gameplay. Like when the announcement,
Wait.
like I don't know, like.
AJ,
2
you
years
good?
ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
same.
All right, let's get to it.
Oh, it's like, this game is
Okay.
gonna be great. All right, let's do it.
All right, we're back. So with DAWNTRAIL and Shadow of the Erdtree's recent releases, AJ, I thought it'd be a good time to actually talk about video game expansions, and this is one I think that you'd be pretty well suited for here. Yeah, I think you've played a good amount of these, more than Jeff, I would think. I don't know if Jeff's because I don't know. I associate expansions with a lot of Blizzard style games, and that's not totally Grubb's
Well,
wheelhouse.
just PC gaming in general in the late
Right.
90s. There are a lot of expansions.
Right, exactly. And there's like a few. I think the community is going to help us here too, because there's a few that I don't necessarily that I think are popular that I haven't really played. So I'm interested to see what they think about. But AJ, I would like to go to you first and see which one you would like to nominate first for the Mount Rushmore of video game expansions.
So I struggle, Mike, because obviously we are going to Blizzard, but I don't want to like give them too many flowers.
It's hard because like
So-
they
so
might get
it's
2
like-
slots. I'm not gonna lie because they.
Because we got Warcraft, we got World of Warcraft, we got StarCraft, and we got Diablo that all got banger expansions.
It's hard because they. I do kind of think of Blizzard when I think about expansions. I think that they were the ones that really made that model work, and to a point where it says, every game they have, it's going to have an expansion, and the expansion is probably going to rule.
Right, like we have a Diablo 4 expansion coming this year, and I'm looking very forward to it because
Does that feel as important to you as like Reaper of Souls did?
well, I don't know. It's going to depend how it hits because like as time goes on, there's a blurry line between expansion and DLC for a lot of games.
Right.
Like Elden Ring is big enough to be an expansion. In the past, adding an act and a player class to a Diablo game was an expansion. But now it's like you look at Diablo Immortal, that had a class added to it. It's just an update.
Yeah, the lines are blurred, but it is still like pretty obvious. Like Urshi's a good example, right? Where it's like, okay, that is an expansion. That is not just DLC. And it's kind of we know it when we see it sort of thing sometimes here. But yeah, I mean, what's your favorite of all the Blizzard expansions, I guess, AJ?
It's for me, I'm going old school, and it probably is Diablo 2 Throne of Baal or Baal. I never know how to say it.
I think the expansion is called Lord of Terror.
Lord of Terror. I'm mixing up myself with Throne of Baal, the Baldur's Gate 2 expansion, which I wrote down because I didn't want to forget about it.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Lord of Terror, which was a huge deal because, again, we played a lot of Diablo 2 back in the day.
Lord of Destruction. Terror is Diablo. I was like, I don't think I got it right still.
Well, I didn't write that one. I was like, I'll remember it. But then I looked at too many expansion titles because they're all kind of like, game : nonsense words.
Game : thing. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, this, it added 2 classes to Diablo, which was massive in and of itself.
It's funny how we got 2 new classes and now it's like, no, you get 1. It's like, can we get 2? That'd be nice.
It really is a bummer.
It bothered me in Reaper of Souls, and it bothers me with this next one, especially since we still don't have a sword and board class, and we're kind of getting another Magi class with whatever this Diablo 4 expansion's called. I can't remember. Vessel of Hatred? I think it's Vessel of Hatred. Yeah, but no, and like that new act was super cool.
It was really good. The boss fight was really good.
Oh, was a great boss fight. But yeah, it was like, because they made it feel like you were actually on a battlefield, because there'd be a lot of kind of NPC barbarians doing their own fighting during it.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
Again, like some of this stuff may sound simple, but back in the early 2000s, it was a big deal.
And plus, base Diablo 2 is fantastic already. And it did have that really cool cliffhanger ending with Baal and what's going on there. And it was neat to just see that resolved in the expansion in a pretty meaningful way, in a way that obviously left things open for sequels and stuff, but still felt like, oh, okay, Diablo 2 was this, this fulfilled experience. Like all of Diablo 2, including Lord of Destruction, that is still my favorite Diablo game. I enjoyed Diablo 4. I enjoyed the Diablo 2 remake even more. I am not going to lie.
Just to stay on, like Reaper of Souls, which is another Diablo expansion. I don't know if it was so much the expansion or just like the kind of patching of the game, but that really did fix Diablo 3.
Yeah, it's kind of a different.
That game was in a rough state until that happened.
Yeah, it's kind of a different vibe because like Lord of Destruction just made an amazing game, like even more amazing. Then Reaper of Souls took a kind of disappointing game and brought it a bit more up to snuff in a way that maybe is even more impressive.
Right.
But does it mean I like Reaper of Souls more than I like Lord of Destruction? Probably. And again, I think just getting 1 class is a little lame. I'm not going to lie. Like, I liked Crusader. It was fun. But
and then we got the Necro as paid DLC.
Well,
and the rumor always was that there was supposed to be another expansion, and that was going to be the class.
I don't think it's even a rumor. I think they just said it, and that's kind of the problem with Reaper of Souls.
Did they admit it? Okay.
Yeah, that it kind of does end. Like, well, there's going to be another one, right? I guess we're doing 2 expansions. Right. And they're like, no, we're not. So they just did kind of release Necromancer later as a separate purchase, as actual DLC, right?
We know why they cancel is because like the reaction to base Diablo 3 was so bad, like we can't greenlight 2 expansions. But then, we fixed it, but we already shut down that team. Too late.
All right, so you didn't do Final Fantasy XIV, so I guess I'll do that. And
yeah, I left that to you.
I do think Shadowbringers is the Final Fantasy 14 expansion. And look, Heaven's Word is also amazing. Shadowbringers really brought everything together. It told this all-time great Final Fantasy story with all-time amazing Final Fantasy characters, like the Crystal Exarch, like Emmett Selk, right? It both managed, and this is where I think it beats Endwalker, and I like Endwalker a lot, but Endwalker is clearly a chapter of a story. Shadowbringers is that, but also is self-contained in its own way, right? Which is amazing.
It walks that line very well. Like there's the macro stuff going on, but a lot of micro stuff.
And you're in this, exciting new world, right? So, and I do like that. And I like the expansions where I do go someplace new and I get to learn about things, and I'm enjoying that in DAWNTRAIL, for example. But it was this really kind of alien place that we were in with a lot of things to learn about and to grow accustomed to, with a lot of interesting places, a plot that went really interesting directions, spoke to a lot of people, and this was the expansion, and part of it was because World of Warcraft was in such a bad shape. This was the expansion. Again, it was the third expansion for Final Fantasy XIV after a remake of the game, where the game really popped off, right? Yep. Because of a bunch of circumstances. But one of the circumstances is that Final Fantasy XIV was amazing. It got into this really good place because of all the stuff that this expansion did, and it was kind of this story that people were saying, hey, you really should check this out. There's a lot going on there. It's a ton of fun. It's really gratifying. It's an amazing experience. There's just so many moments from that I still think about. It's definitely my, I like Heaven's Word a lot too. And again, I don't dislike Endwalker or Stormblood either, but Shadowbringers is the best expansion. It was just incredible. Yeah.
Also one of the all-time great gaming soundtracks, period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
just some of the best music ever composed.
Yeah, I mean, all the Final Fantasy XIV soundtracks are good, but Shadowbringers is definitely the best one. It's ridiculous.
It's the meme of the guy on the beach playing the piano on fire.
The piano is just on fire. Oh, no. All right, AJ, back to you.
Well, again, we got to stick with Blizzard for a second because obviously World of Warcraft has had, 20 years of expansions. And it's hard to deny that probably the biggest deal one was Wrath of the Lich King. That's probably the peak of the game in general.
That was when it was like 12 or 15 million subscribers. It was so popular.
Right. And that was a lot going on because not only was it kind of wrapping up a big story arc of World of Warcraft itself, this was going back to like Warcraft 3, wrapping that up as well. Super memorable raids, super memorable dungeons. You added the Death Knight class and how that tied into the lore was really cool. It really embraced things like flying in the game in ways that even Burning Crusade, when it introduced it, didn't. Like, you had very vertical zones that took advantage of it. The funny thing is, because I didn't have a high enough level character, I didn't play a lot of it back in the day. But just from the circumstantial furor around it, I mean, we have a younger cousin who, was a young teenager at the time at best, and he was raiding in this game. And he's not like a gamer; he just played a lot of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it was him and his football team played it. I was like,
the Boardman High School football team was raiding the Lich King.
I know, and it was only it was only like 5 years older than me. I was like, times have changed. Those were two separate groups of people when I was in high school. Right. Okay, that's good to know. Actually, that's nice. Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King is still like, if you ask me to name one World of Warcraft expansion, it's that. It was this giant deal. It felt like it kind of was an Endwalker situation again, where it was this big payoff in a lot of ways. The Lich King was the villain. It was the big unanswered question from base Warcraft 3. And Northrend was a really well-realized zone with a ton of great places to check out. We had some all-timer raids there with Ulduar, and then Icecrown Citadel. I liked the Argent Tournament. I know it wasn't for everybody, but I was actually a big fan of that.
Love the Argent Tournament.
The Death Knights are really cool. They're kind of overpowered initially, but it was a really cool class to have in there. I mean, if you ask me to name one World of Warcraft expansion, it's probably that. Legion would be the other one that was really good, and it's kind of a similar thing. Like, storyline-wise, it's almost a sequel to Wrath of the Lich King in a lot of ways, but just the way it really focused on that class fantasy was really cool in that one. So I was a really big fan of that, of how that tackled things. Gosh, I don't want to just do Blizzard again, but RTS is kind of the other thing I think about. And I mean, the Frozen Throne was pretty meaty stuff, right? That's the RTS one I think of the most.
See, I would go Brood War before I went Frozen Throne.
I'm not much of a StarCraft guy.
You're not a big StarCraft guy, no, yeah.
But
that was huge.
I'll put StarCraft Brood War as well as a possibility here. I probably need to. What was the stuff that was new to Brood War?
Now you're trying to in my memory, the two become so combined. I can't remember. There was a new faction. It was just like new units. The story went like to 11.
Right, because that's like
it was very dense. There's just a lot to it.
Frozen Throne's the same thing. They didn't add a new faction. It was still those same 4 factions. It was just for that. You were able to say that obviously new campaign is a big thing, and there's new units. But there's also new hero units in Frozen Throne, which have a very big impact. And there was also that kind of the campaign had new story things for the undead, for the humans, and for the night elves, and then the horde actually kind of had that weird sort of solo thing. Remember? Which
that's right.
Right, which is it was kind of like a bit of a World of Warcraft precursor in some ways. How that worked. So that was interesting. I hope that people in chat, if they're thinking something more from the Command and Conquer or other RTS games or Total Warhammer, they'll let me know, because like I think me and you, our RTS experiences are a bit more laser focused on the Blizzard front, and our list is pretty Blizzard heavy right now. So I think I'm kind of counting on chat. Our Patreons and whatnot to help us out with some of the other ones there. And you know what? Maybe we should just go to that right now, AJ. Maybe we should start seeing which ones that chat would recommend here.
See if we have anything. So I don't know. It says this is from Casual. It's just expand dong.
What is that? What do you mean?
It's Donkey Kong and it's cropped in some way, I'm sure, and it says expand dong. And then the emojis below it spell out funky mode.
Did people submit these during pictures? Should I be sharing these?
Yeah, they are pictures.
Okay, I'll try them.
Is this hard for you to do?
It might be hard for me to do, actually. I may not have the capacity. I might not have the technology to show both your face and these things, AJ. So you go ahead. You just keep naming things.
Okay. Jamie H 1224 says The Witcher Wild Hunt Blood and Wine, which I've never played. I never got that far in The Witcher, but I know people really like.
So this is one I was curious about people would mention, because I did not play it, and I feel really bad because people seem to love this one. So I'm kind of curious if like more people bring it up, because I hear how great it is all the time. I liked Witcher 3 a lot. I always wanted to get back into this. I was always shocked you weren't a Witcher 3 guy, AJ.
I don't know why. I really can't answer to why that didn't. Like, I picked it back up like a year and a half ago when I think some update hit or something, and it was finally starting to grok with me. It's just like part of my issue is it's very hard for me to like truly invest into a meaty, dense open world RPG right now. Final Fantasy notwithstanding,
Sure.
like I can't sit down and play it for hours at a time. Yeah, I don't know. I just never really was able to sink my teeth into that game.
If it keeps showing up, I think we should. And this is one, sometimes it's like, I didn't play it, I'm not going to consider it. If I hear enough about things, I will be happy to consider it. Continue.
All right. Soji Kodo submits Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Did you ever play this?
No, I don't know. I talked about this before, like, especially during the Xbox 360 era, and this is why I never played the original Dead Rising very much, and why I'm kind of excited for the collection thing. But I was like, I roll my eyes so hard at the zombie stuff. The idea of like, it's just the zombie expansion. I hear it's really good and it's fun. Now, was that expand alone? How do you feel about expand alone expansion?
Yeah, I guess we didn't address that.
Right, it's a little different.
It is like when it's not that you need the base game to play, it does kind of feel a little different, doesn't it? Like I wouldn't consider like Miles Morales for this, right?
Oh, absolutely not. No, but that's
right. So yeah, I think
like
that means
pretty
we're out of
extreme
expand-alones
in that regard. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Freedom McLiberty Balls has Wrath of the Lich King.
Yep, I think that's gonna be a popular one.
B has Shadowbringers.
Yeah, I bet there will be some people who will bring up Heaven's Ward, but I think Shadowbringers is gonna be the most popular Final Fantasy XIV one.
Right. It took me a long time to kind of like, I was like, Heaven's Ward is like what drew me into the game, so it was very hard for me to admit to myself that Shadowbringers is better.
It took me a while too. Right. Because like, especially because like Heaven's Ward's like kind of vibe is a bit more my thing, but Shadowbringers is so ridiculously good.
It's real good. Yeah. Okay. Here to cause problems, Eden is being clever and has a picture of The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
That's cute.
This is a good one from Beef Hammer. It is Civilization V: Brave New World. That was a good expansion for Civ. I don't know how much you played it.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the Civ 6 expansions, like they almost like sometimes with these expansions in general, I'm like, I thought the base game was complicated enough. That was actually
Right.
fine. I did not need more systems. Even when I was playing Civ 6 recently, right? And like it's talking to me about global warming because there was an expansion that added like natural disasters and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't really know if this is adding much to my experience, everybody. There was already a lot going on.
Brothers for a limited time, and now I can't get it. I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, you can't get it anymore. I guess you can. You just buy the fighter pass. So what do you? No, you can't buy Steve and Alex. No, they're in a pass. It's like you buy it. Oh, you buy it for me? No.
Oh no,
Take that child.
Right.
I was like, you don't even play Smash Brothers. You just like Minecraft. No, I'm not doing that right now. All right, Villain Mac has Brood War. There's one for that.
There you go, Brute. Again, I was never much of a StarCraft guy. I'm just not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge RTS guy in general. I think with Warcraft, I was kind of into it. But, God, I just never much of a StarCraft guy. And StarCraft 2 is weird because those were really expansions. They just kind of split the game into 3.
Yeah, you're right. Those didn't really feel like expansions in the way that Brood War did. All right, Team Money OG has Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is another one. I don't know how you feel. Chris 2K has Persona 5 Royale. Is that an expansion or just like a director's cut?
No, that's more a director's cut, like, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different thing. That's like,
That's a different version, like I don't know.
No, AG nailed it, or whoever said nailed it with director's cut. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That was me.
like
I'll
that
take credit.
Dragon's Dogma, Darker
take that
Rise,
credit,
or
AJ,
something. Yeah,
Mhm.
different.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we went down for a hot second, but we're back.
Yeah,
on
I
the
saw
screen,
that.
so-
Everyone, I don't know what. Everything looks
Yeah,
fine on my
don't worry
end, so
about
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Yee. All right. Chaos Buckaroo says Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island.
Never played
Never
that.
played it.
Never played that one. Did this include that co-op thing, or is that separate? I don't know.
I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. It's been lost to time. This is one that I know people are fond of. I never played it either. This is from Joyzy, and it is Minerva's Den for BioShock 2.
I was curious about this one coming up also, and it is
Right?
another one.
People like this more than the base game, right?
This is one that I keep meaning to play, Minerva's Den, and I hear it's great, and I really want to. Yeah, I think there's something impressive. It's a bit like that Diablo 3 thing, right? Where it's like, oh, this is people like this more than the base game. That's kind of interesting.
Right. Disaster by Leah says Bloodborne: The Old Hunters.
That counts.
I've never played any Bloodborne.
People, yeah. Oh, really?
I've never played Bloodborne. Isn't that crazy?
I do. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about how much they do like this expansion specifically, and I think when with Erdtree being out, I kind of hear this brought up, like, oh, what's the best expansion, right? And I do hear the Old Hunters kind of brought up a lot. So people, in fact, I'll write it down there. That would be the Bloodborne, the Old Hunters should be considered. All right, thank you.
All right, Screaming Madden has Age of Mythology, the Titans expansion. I'm sure I played it because I liked Age of Mythology back in the day. I just can't remember it. I'm excited for that remake, though. That remake looks great.
Maybe I'll check out the remake on that one.
MDY, I don't know how to say it, has Brood War.
Man, that's more love for Brood War than I was expecting.
I told you.
People like Brood War.
People like Brood War, man.
All right.
Hosp has Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge.
Okay. Again, like how come we were never a Red Alert family, AJ? I thought Red Alert was honestly some obscure thing just because it wasn't ever
because we didn't play it, right?
It wasn't in our periphery for some reason. And now
I mean,
it's
the reason, and it's funny to think like this probably shaped a lot of our gaming because I had a buddy in middle school who had a copy of Warcraft 2, and he wasn't a gamer, but he liked Warcraft 2. And showed it to me and got me to play it with him, and then that was it.
It just so happened that
Warcraft games.
Yeah, it was just like in our bubble, everyone played Warcraft, and like I didn't know anybody who played Red Alert or Command and Conquer, and I kind of regret it now.
Person.
Right.
The pre-internet, pre-social media days. That's how it works. You know. Oh well. Dr. Lynch has Diablo 2: Lord of Destruction.
Yeah, Lord of Destruction. Again, that's one that I'd be surprised if it doesn't make it because that was just real cool stuff, man.
Tuber has Legacy of the Void.
So
which
again,
we kind of disqualified, I guess.
It's almost just part of the trilogy of StarCraft 2, right? It's a little weird. And again, it's like I don't even think you needed the base game to play it. It's kind of expanded. I forget how those worked. I thought that was a weird format for StarCraft 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they thought they were being clever. Was this like the tail end of like episodic gaming was going to change everything? Maybe.
I mean, I think it's more of like the tail beginning of it. To be honest, I think it was right in
was
there.
it? I don't remember.
Right in
there.
Yeah.
Tyler James Bay says Mass Effect 3 Citadel, which I like this expansion a lot.
Okay.
Have you played it?
Is this expansion or is this DLC? Because this is one that's straddling the line for me.
It is hard to say.
Same thing with what's the one from Mass Effect 2 that everybody loves? The Shadow Broker. The Shadow Broker. Because I thought about that, but what is that, DLC or is that an expansion?
Right. I guess it depends on like how substantial. Like it's not like the length of a game.
It's not.
So is that like where we are?
It doesn't have to be the length of a game because obviously, like I bet in some ways it's about as long as playing through Act 5 of Diablo 2 that they added True. Right. So it's just, but like, I don't know if this is getting brought up. I seen in chat, and it's once to be considered, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Shivering Isles, right? That's pretty.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up later if we didn't get to it. Yeah, that was a good one. That
pretty
was really
beefy. Good. And there were other DLC things for that game that were smaller.
Horse armor.
Right. So, and again, like I see RT Bixing, what's the difference between DLC and expansion? It is kind of like
it's a node if you see it.
You see it. Basically, it's size, right? So it's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to nail down exactly. I'm going to write Elder Scrolls for Shivering Isles now.
Go for it.
Because that.
But I had an interesting experience with the Citadel expansion or DLC or whatever we're going to call it. Because I never actually got it back in the day. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like spending the $15 and like Mass Effect 3 had ended. Like it's one of those DLCs where you like load an earlier save and go do it. So it was like a week before the Mass Effect Legendary Collection came out, and I was like, I should just go play Citadel. It was kind of cool because like it was like this like weird like goodbye to my original Commander Shepard and like that run of the game that I had from those years ago.
Well, that's why they made it, is because a lot of people didn't feel like they got proper closure in a lot of ways, and that's the point.
But like I got that in a very extreme way because it was so long after the fact, and I really enjoyed it for that. So it is good, but I don't think it goes quite on the Mount Rushmore.
What? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
This next one's funny.
Okay, let's hear it.
Weezman posts a picture of the Nintendo 64 expansion pack.
Okay. You got us. Ladies and gentlemen, got us.
I enjoy that.
That's pretty good. That's clever. That fucking thing. How else are you going to play Donkey Kong 64?
That's right. Or Perfect Dark at more than 10 frames per second.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hammond of Texas. This is another one I think we disqualify, but he posts it's Half-Life, then Op4 and Blue Shift. But those were expandalones, right?
No. I don't think so.
Did they require the base game?
I thought they did.
I thought they were expandalones.
No, I don't think they're expandalones.
They are expandalones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be quite good enough anyways. Opposing Force, maybe. I like Opposing Force.
Opposing Force was pretty good.
It's pretty good. That's interesting. They're expandalone. Yeah,
that's kind of like that's how Gearbox got started, right?
Yeah, that's right. That was them, I believe. I like Opposing Force. It definitely at the time it was cool just to have more Half-Life and to see the kind of other perspective of it. I played through it very recently and enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, but I don't know if I quite. What do you think about like Half-Life 2 Episode 2? Is that because that is very standalone, I guess, but it's also
they're the same. They are expandalones for sure.
Yeah,
but they're really good too.
They're very good. They're very good.
Bugadillo has XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Yeah, for as much XCOM 1 as I played, I don't think I played any 2.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard people like it. Again, I just never played it.
Yeah, if I think about like an XCOM like expansion, I will think about the first one, Enemy Unknown. But I don't know if that, because that's like a collection of DLC. Is that like does that count?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to say because again, I didn't play this one much.
Same. Epic Open World does have Mass Effect 2 Lair of the Shadow Broker, which again, very good. Especially because like Liara is such a big character. It was weird how little she was in Mass Effect 2 in hindsight.
Which one do you like more, the Citadel from 3 or Shadow Broker from 2?
Oh, Citadel, I'd take.
You like Citadel more? Interesting.
I mean, that's nostalgia talking, I guess, but I mean, Shadowbroker again, very good.
Yeah, I just like Shadowbroker felt like
fun.
Shadowbroker felt like this really nice, condensed, almost mission chain for for Mass
Yeah, I
Effect
know what
2.
you mean.
And Mass Effect, I just kind of like Mass Effect 2 more than Mass Effect 3 also, so that's nice.
Right, that helps.
Yeah.
Breadfish has Civ 5, Brave New World. How do you feel about this now? Crouching Boomer, Hidden Zoomer with Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit different, right? That's just kind of a new version of those games. Although it's weird because I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 actually was just like a thing you bought.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't that?
Like,
you're right. I remember that was like, it was weird to buy.
Super Street Fighter 4 was a different box. And then Ultra Street Fighter 4, I think, was like you could just pay to upgrade. So it's a little weird. It was, and it added
for that reason, it does not go in the
It's confusing. It added a lot of good characters for sure. And Ultra Street Fighter 4 is still very fun to play, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a little weird.
By the way, somebody clarify, and this enemy within the name of the expansion for XCOM 1.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember.
Up to the hole.
All right, Jay.
Oh, I thought you were stopping. Okay. We got a few more of these kind of not quite expansions. Mason W has Persona 4 Golden, which again we kind of
that's more director's cut. More director's cut.
Dr. Ryan has Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which
again that's much more like Super Street. Also, like that should have just been Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It came out so soon after the base game. There, it's almost like it's almost a problem.
Right. The Elden Ring Wolf 5 has the Ancient Gods for Doom Eternal.
I never played. I don't even know about this one. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, same. Boomer is still playing Tears. Has Burial at Sea for BioShock Infinite. You play this one?
No, I
started it, didn't finish it.
My understanding was that it was two halves of it. And the first half people were kind of met on, and then the second half people liked. It was my understanding for Burial at Sea.
Michael Riley has Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which we said we like, but not really an expansion. He also, he double dipped here, has Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Time Twister. Did you play this one, Mike?
Actually. Time Twister did rule. Yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 had some good stuff.
It's so funny to me how into Roller Coaster Tycoon you were.
I played
as someone who doesn't like roller coasters.
Now, I had to be honest, like, because I just played like the complete version of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 for so long, I can't remember like what was added to that expansion and what was only in the base game. But Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is amazing. I freaking love that game.
Yes. Super Harmon has Dark Souls Artorias of the Abyss.
Yeah, that's the big Dark Souls expansion. I kind of been hearing this talked about too now that we have Erdtree out, right? And how much people do enjoy that. I was kind of curious, and like I guess I could like speak to it because I've beaten Erdtree, right? Do I think Erdtree is like an
I was gonna ask you after we got through all the community stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like maybe we'll get there. I'll ruminate on that a bit more.
All right. JD Camp has the Mario Kart Track Pass or whatever they call it.
Yeah, like passes.
Again, that's more DLC, I guess.
I'll tell you what, pretty good though. How many they added.
It's another game's worth of tracks. Yeah,
yeah. Not a bad thing, and they did it at a time when we thought DLC was just not happening for that game. So it was very.
I gotta
cool.
say, I don't like playing the Mario Kart World Tour tracks.
Yeah, they're not great,
and they don't read well. I am constantly running in the invisible walls. It feels like
like the weird split pass.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. Mobile games are bad,
Moss has. Yeah, Jedi Moss 3 or 3 has Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Yep, we talked about that one.
RT Bick, another Roller Coaster Tycoon. This is Corkscrew Follies for the original game, and it says expansion pack, and there's even a big blue thing that says requires Roller Coaster Tycoon to play, so you know it's an expansion.
There you go. No, that's an expansion, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
We're getting so expanded right now.
Several times, yeah. Firehair with another vote for Diablo Reaper of Souls.
I'm so bad. Reaper of Souls almost getting more love than Lord of Destruction.
Yeah, interesting. Like you said, it was like one was like a good expansion to a good game, and one was a good expansion to a game in trouble.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Teriyaki Blues has Golden Idol Mysteries: The Spider of Lenka. I don't know what this is.
This is that the mystery of the Golden Idol that everybody really likes that I have not gotten to yet. I think it's coming to Game Pass. They just announced though, so maybe I should check it out.
All right. Ed has Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles.
Call of Duty, huh?
Enjoy your zombies.
I'm discounting all zombie expansions.
Yeah.
Undead Nightmare, this
Yeah.
thing. I know. I'm hateful.
Kagger Tom. That's how I'm going to pronounce that. Has Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine. Yeah, that's one I really want to check out sometime. I always feel a little comfortable now though, because like I feel like my time to check it out was a long time ago, and now I
Right.
do
Like,
not
are you really going
remember.
to go back and play 100 hours of Witcher 3 right now?
Like, do I have access to that save file? Like, still,
Mhm.
because that was an Xbox. That was like an early-ish Xbox.
Well,
One
that is,
game.
they do have it. You can choose to jump into the expansions, and they just like kind of boost you.
Well, that's funny because like I accidentally did that with Shivering Isles, right? I was just
Right.
playing Oblivion. I played it like a complete Game of the Year edition of that game. And I was just wandering around, and I found like this little island with a gate, and I was like, "This seems interesting." I just went in there. I was like, "Shivering Isles." I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'm doing this at level 1." Okay,
Right.
and that game
But it
had
worked,
scaling,
you know?
so it was fine.
Yeah.
It just worked out.
It's fine. All right. Christian has Undead Nightmare. Poop on that.
Wow, man.
And Turbo Sean. I'm surprised this didn't come up more. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which people seem to really like.
Yeah, people love that, and they keep telling me how amazing that is. Yeah, it didn't come up. I don't know. You know me. I waited for this expansion and all these updates to come out. Then I lasted about 3 hours in the base game before I lost my mind.
That was funny.
It was not for me. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Erdtree it has a bit of that. If there's a problem, if kind of like we're talking about Lord Destruction, well, like here's a great game and here's more of it in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like Erdtree has a bit of that problem where it ultimately is just more Elden Ring. Now, what else should it have been? Probably nothing else. It should have just been that, and I'm glad it is, and it is amazing to get more of it. I don't know if it that's my interesting point there with Diablo 2. It's like at least you can play that base game again with these new classes and stuff like that.
Right.
Does Shadow of the Erdtree add much that makes that base game feel different? I guess you could get some of these new weapon types like the fists and whatnot, and maybe it's like fun to play through the base game with that stuff now or do New Game Plus. I don't know. But there's nothing about Erdtree that pluses the original game in any exciting way for me.
That's an interesting idea. Like how does an expansion affect the original game? Like if you are a newcomer to the game and you bought the complete kit, is the expansion content affecting you from the get-go or not?
Right, exactly. So
because some of these games it does, like World of Warcraft. Well, I was gonna say you could make a Death Knight, but no, didn't you have to have a certain level character?
Death Knight would be like level 58. So, but there's always big class changes.
Yes
so
and no.
Yeah, so World of Warcraft is a bit of an old world problem with that stuff sometimes. But if an expansion adds a new race, then you can do that at least.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Plus, it's just very new. So I'll write down here. I don't know. Honestly, like I would almost rather believe some of the people talking about how much they liked Bloodborne: The Old Hunters if I was to consider something from FromSoft. Do we have a bunch of super chats that are related to this topic?
Yes.
Would you like to just catch us
I'll
up
do the
on?
ones that are related.
If it's easier to
Okay,
just read them all
Yeah,
now
we'll
that we
just do
go.
them all. There's a couple of extra ones. Dirachi says, thanks for that show, AJ. You're welcome.
Sometimes you have to pay extra for that.
Make it all worthwhile. Jacob Bench says, I just rolled credits on DAWNTRAIL. I just don't get the hate. There's no just. He said, I don't get the hate. Yeah, you know why people do what they do? Because it gets engagement on the internet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I look very forward to more.
I mean, look, I bet some people do have legitimate gripes, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to agree ultimately. I think I'm ultimately going to be fine.
Right. All right, Nintendo Derek says, all the Sims games have had a lot of good expansions over the years, but Sims 3, Into the Future, or Sims 4, Strangerville have to be my favorites. There's been a lot of Sims expansions.
There have been a lot of Sims expansions. That's kind of not my world, right? That's a whole other place over there going on, but yeah.
L. Grug says, shout out to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. Also, Command & Conquer 0 Hour and Kane's Wrath, but both of those had individual box releases.
I was curious about those. Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3 have the those I would call them straight up expansions that people seem to really like. And I was wondering if more people were going to mention them.
Yeah. Cadgerton, I don't know, it's a cage, whatever, says, realized I made a mistake and put Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. I meant to put Hearts of Stone. Our first child was born this week. I'm tired, guys.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
I feel you. Congratulations. Go get some sleep. When the baby sleeps, you sleep. It's very important. Take naps.
That's interesting because I haven't played either. I usually hear Blood and Wine is the one that gets propped up.
Like Hearts is some people like, but Blood and Wine is the one everyone's kind of high on.
Okay, AJ.
All right, let's parse this.
I think Shadowbringers is a lock. For us.
That's for us like one of our favorite games of all time. So
if you had,
I think as far, to justify its Mount Rushmore-ness, it is expanding a game, but it is also doing a very good job of being its own thing and serving both masters, like we talked about. So yeah.
Okay, there's a bunch of Blizzard ones up here. Specifically Diablo 2 Lord Destruction, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, which got mentioned quite a lot. Actually, I got to add that. World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, and StarCraft Brood War.
Okay,
so if you can only do one of these.
If I can only do one, because one of the things that I see you guys do, and I do it too, and I'm trying to parse down these lists. I ask, what's the George Washington of this list?
Yeah,
and sometimes in a way that feels like Brood War to me.
I could see that. Brood War got mentioned quite a lot,
right?
So I wouldn't be super upset if Brood War's there, because I could see we would do Brood War, and look, we could maybe do one other Blizzard one. Specifically because I think maybe Wrath of the Lich King would need to be mentioned.
Do we just avoid the Diablo problem altogether and just go with Wrath of the Lich King and be done with Blizzard?
We might. I mean, again,
let me ask you, now that we kind of went through it, if you had to pick a Diablo, would you pick 2 or 3?
It's hard because I really see kind of both points there.
Right. Again, which is why I think we take the coward's way out and just include neither.
It's difficult. Look, I mean, I could be a sicko and put 3 Blizzard games on there. I don't think that really. I think that looks weird if it's 3 Blizzard games.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at that point, then, and part of me almost wants to defer a little bit to chat on one of these. Well, like Bloodborne, no 100 people love. Witcher 3, Blood and Wine people love. Minerva's Den, Shivering Isles. I did play. Shivering Isles is one I can almost.
Yeah, Shivering Isles is great. But same. Again, I'm willing to defer to the community and popular opinion that Witcher 3 Blood and Wine is apparently very, very, very good.
Or I mean, did you feel that strongly about those Mass Effect ones? Do you really think one of those two is like Mount Rushmore?
No. I mean, they're closer to DLC missions than expansions. Like I said, they have no real bearing on like the game, like the base game. It's just you go off and do this thing and come back and you're done.
Yeah. Is there any chance?
I'm not going to do those.
Is there any chance, Mods, we can get a poll of Blood and Wine, Minerva's Dead, Own Hunters, and Shivering Isles just out of curiosity's sake? I'd be curious to see what the live chat. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get it. Which ones did you want?
Blood and Wine, Minerva's Den, the Old Hunters, and Shivering Isles, just to kind of see here a bit, because these are.
I didn't know this was a democracy. What the hell? What's going on?
That's right. Jeff's not here.
What have you done with the mic?
Right. Fine. Yeah. Jeff in his monocral ways, his kingly ways. He's not here to push his weight around and just do whatever he wants. So I think that we're fine. Okay. Let me tell you something now, AJ. I'm looking at Wrath of the Lich King again. And I'm like, we have 2 MMOs on there, and I'm not getting rid of Shadowbringers.
Yeah. I see where you're going, and I
it's
be
like,
okay with that.
Now, granted, we also already have an RTS, so it's like, do we put in a Diablo instead of World of Warcraft? It feels a little weird to not have a World of Warcraft expansion in there. Also,
I know what you mean, but also like, no, I'm trying to justify it. So. Because it's like, it's an expansion, but it's also just the evolution of a live game. Whereas Diablo is a bit more of like, here's just more of the game with some changes and updates.
Gosh, it's difficult.
Is that how we justify it to ourselves?
It's hard. It's just Wrath of the Lich King, again, that game had like 50 million subscribers or something during that period. 12 or 15.
I mean, yeah, insanely popular, of course.
Yeah, it's insane just how good that was. And then I like Lord of Destruction a lot, though, and then I get the point with Reaper of Souls just being a big deal for kind of saving that game a bit.
If we were gonna do a Diablo, I think I would say Reaper of Souls.
I could see that. Do you like
it really did kind of? I think it really did kind of swoop in and save that game.
Do you like the list more with Wrath of the Lich King or with Reaper of Souls?
God, I don't know. I think I do like it better with Wrath of the Lich King, though.
I think I might like it better with Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, it was just such a big deal. It was so big. I mean, that's when we had the commercials with Mr. T and Shatner. Like everything was Warcraft when that was out. It was so massive.
I thought this would be the case. I am seeing just a ton of support for Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. From chat. And I think that's right. I always hear about how amazing it is. So I think that's one I just need to do at some point. Mm-hmm. And if this was the 4 right here, AJ, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, StarCraft Brood War, World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, and The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, as far as the Mount Rushmore video game expansions, how would you feel about that?
I think that's pretty good. I think we cover a good swath of time periods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Blizzard basically their business model is expansions, so I feel okay with them having 2.
I feel it's like a little. There's a part of me's like, oh, they have 2, but again, man, we were especially growing up, and even still, we played a lot of Blizzard games, and that's really where I even understood the idea of expansions in a lot of ways. I think you're right, as Brood War being kind of the George Washington. I mean, there's also Beyond the Dark Portal, which didn't even get mentioned, right? That was the Warcraft 2 one, which was good.
Right.
But,
yeah, really good.
I don't want to be called a boomer and talk about Beyond the Dark Portal too much here. Get in trouble.
So real quick, so Jedi Moss has a super chat. Shout out to Destiny 2, The Final Shape, a great conclusion of what Destiny has built the last 10 years. No one, us or the podcast producers, brought up any Destiny.
I was surprised no one brought up the Taken King.
Yeah, that's the one everyone liked. Everyone liked the Witch Queen, right?
Yeah, there was that.
Everyone liked that one too.
The Witch Queen and what's the other one where they killed Cade?
Oh yeah, what's that one where they killed Cade?
I'm the Destiny.
You're
guy.
the Destiny 2 guy.
Yeah. What are you asking us for?
But no, I don't.
That one with the dream when they put the Dreaming City.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a couple from Destiny 2 that people Forsaken. That's
Forsaken.
It.
I'm
it's
sorry,
generic
I
name.
The name in Spanish. Yeah, the name in Spanish is Forajidos, which has nothing to do with Forsaken.
Oh really?
In English.
It starts with an F. It's got that.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like. Yeah, Forajido means outlaw. What is that? What's up with that? What the fuck? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I definitely liked. I mean, when I think my favorite Destiny expansion definitely was Taken King, and I may have considered that.
Same.
And that was a bit of a that's kind of in a similar boat as Reaper of Souls for me, where it sort of did a lot to fix the game in a lot of ways.
I'm glad this Destiny expansion's good. It's on sale on the Steam sale. I might pull the trigger and pick it up and dip into it. But I do hope the next thing is a Destiny 3 and they can kind of reset again. I really hope that's what they do. We'll see.
I mean, we didn't see when Final Shape came out. Fucking Luke Smith came out of the shadow after he killed another live service game at Sony, and he was like, "Listen, I'm cooking something. Bye." So
really?
It's safe. Yeah, it's safe to assume that I think they're working on this.
I think it's happening.
I don't know, but like, it's probably happening.
Good. That's what I say.
Shall we lock it in, AJ?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, Mount Rushmore video game expansions is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, StarCraft Brood War, World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, and The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Thank you so much, Chad and supporters, for the help on this one. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to post this on the Twitter, see if anybody wants to yell at me. And we'll be back and just talk about a few other games we've been playing and clean up any more super chats. So stay tuned, everybody.
All right,
I'm going to
post
this real quick. We're going to not see AJ's face for a moment. Don't panic, AJ.
I'm actually going to go potty. I'll be right back.
Don't panic. I'm going to have to go potty, too. Not going to lie. The beer.
They
instinctively pulled his shirt over his shorts.
Yeah, that's good. He's learned his lesson. Mount Rushmore expansions. I believe in a thing called love. That was another rhythm of my heart. I gotta remember, Jeff always posts the link to the podcast while he does this, which is smart. Yes. I remember to do that. Make people watch.
Baby.
Yes. you're gonna yell at us, do it live.
Preferably give us money to tell us that we're wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's right. Fucking Forsaken is really good. Holy shit. Didn't even thought about that.
I'm surprised no one else brought up Destiny.
For Destiny, yeah.
Maybe they're
Partnership's pretty good.
Doki, that has been tweeted.
I literally pop off when I saw Luke's meat on that thing. Like, shit, Luke's meat. It's not that like I'm a fan or whatever, but like I haven't seen him. He was like the face of that game for so many years, and then like he went like dark.
It's weird to me because I still think of him as the guy from One Up Your. It's still weird for me.
I watched some clips of One Up from time to time.
Okay, I'll be right back. I do have to go to
crazy.
the bathroom pretty badly. So
All right.
entertain the people.
So
mods.
entertaining.
So anyway,
All right.
ZZZ, that's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good ass fucking video game. Holy shit.
I don't know what
Man,
it is.
that game.
That's
so it's
a new MiHoYo game.
Yeah, it's a new MiHoYo game.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
character
It
action
is.
game.
Dripping with style. AJ, you should like
Oh,
at least download it and check
It
it out
has
just to see what
Sokoban
they're
in
doing.
it.
Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah, it's
Endless
like
Zone Zero.
it's like what if Devil May Cry had these stylings of Jet Set Radio meets Splatoon? Like it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a very stylish.
Oh
game.
yes,
It's very
Splatoon.
cool.
That's the I didn't even
Yeah,
thought
they're
about Splatoon.
definitely going for that like Japanese urban sort of style.
Right, well, I
Yeah.
download the launcher. I will check it out.
There you go.
It's
like games.
Hilariously large to download on PC.
It's 100
because-
gigs and it takes forever to like. We're gonna verify
do
this
I-
file for 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Do I have 100 gigs right now? I don't.
it's
I
just
need
the
to delete some
PC
stuff.
version because
It's just the
it-
PC version.
yeah, it like internally downloads a zip folder apparently and unzips
Yeah.
that.
And,
Like, I
then it checks
downloaded
that-
it.
and then it checks it out if it is correctly unzipped. So it's like 3
Yeah.
downloads in one.
I downloaded it on my phone. And it's only like 15.
Yeah, same.
That's good.
Yep.
What should I delete? Okay, I'm not playing Battlefront 2, although that's not on the drive that matters, is it?
That's
Battlefront.
Eternal though. Wait,
No, that's
new
on- that's on
Battlefront 2
my-
or old Battlefront 2?
New.
No, the new
well,
one.
You know,
Oh,
we all
That's
make
it's
mistakes.
it's okay. It's on my my kind of cold storage drive.
Gotcha.
I am not playing Forza Motorsport anymore. That.
Motorsport? Nah, get that shit out of
I
here.
can't believe it.
Horizon, though. I just, picked
Oh,
up.
Yeah,
I got-
here's some bonus content. I got that pack with like the DeLorean and stuff. It's
Yeah.
dumb, but it's really fun.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's why Horizon's so great. They
Right.
don't give a shit. The Hot Wheels.
Well, it's
pass-
great because I actually use Bing, so I will like every like couple months get just $10 in Xbox credits. So I just got that.
Yeah, people talk about that all the time in the Discord, where they just have like their like Microsoft rewards. How do you put it, like flow or whatever, where just like they
Right.
worked into their daily shit. So yeah, they just get like free Game Pass every few months or something. That's kind of neat.
I believe in a thing called Mike. Just listen to the rhythm of my mic. Alrighty, how you guys doing?
That's
I
what I want
wonder
to talk
what
about. Let me
Mike
write
was
that down
thinking
so I don't
about.
forget.
Hey Mike, while we're on the air, I thought I would bring this up. You see Outrun 2006 tweaks, this new mod?
What?
People fixed the like mediocre PC port, and now it's apparently like the best version of the game.
Oh, that's cool. I got to check that out then. Okay.
That's
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
All right. Let's bring us back in.
Okay.
All right.
And we're back. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I saw
Whoa.
I saw a spider eating a lightning bug when I was outside. That was exciting.
Oh no. Poor lightning bug.
Well,
My
spiders-
kids are obsessed with lightning bugs, and I kind of love it.
Spiders got to eat.
It's very wholesome. There's something very wholesome about like going outside and catching lightning bugs, right?
Yeah. We call them lightning bugs here. They're fireflies in a lot of other places, but they're I think
Right.
lightning bugs. AJ, what else have you been playing besides DAWNTRAIL, if anything?
Oh, a handful of things that I'll talk about. I finally did fire up Mini Shoot Adventures.
Oh, that game's great.
Fun. That's really it's a clever concept. It's they do a funny thing that I don't know if you remember this in the very beginning to kind of like teach you what you're actually playing because you're like, okay, I'm in a spaceship, but like the second room has water, and when you go in that water, you fall into it and then spawn back, and it's like, okay, I'm not like actually flying. I guess I'm hovering.
Right.
And hoverboards don't work on water, McFly, you bozo.
Unless you've got power.
That's right. So yeah, it's super clever. I've just kind of started it up, but I like that. I think
it's a very fun. It's a very like kind of like quick paced game. I really enjoy it.
Good Steam Deck game. Very good.
It's one I'm gonna remember. I think come Game of the Year time. Still, I just really enjoyed mini shoot adventures. It was good stuff.
Right. Here's one that is a very unfortunate victim of timing because I want to sink some time into this, and I've started it. The Riven remake came out.
I was wondering if you're gonna get it because you really liked Myst for a while
Myst.
there. You like Myst 3 Exile a lot.
Myst 3 Exile is one of my all-time favorite games. I like all the Myst games, but like I never played Riven.
The sequel.
I didn't play it at the time. Yes, the sequel to Myst. I didn't play it at the time because as a kid, like we had Myst on the Sega Saturn of all things, and I liked playing it. but I had no idea what I was doing. Like I couldn't get off the island. So like when there was a sequel, I was like, well, I'm not gonna get that. I don't know how to play this game. So by the time like 3 came out, I played 3. I played 4. When I was in college, I finally went back and beat original Myst with my roommate, which was a big deal. But I never did go back to Riven. It was always like the understanding is that it's a fairly obtuse game. Like you flip a switch and somewhere like on the other side of this island, like a gate unlocks. It doesn't even open, it unlocks. And my understanding is they kind of like tweak the game so it's a little more logical, I guess is how I'd put it. So I did kind of the first introductory island and got on the like cool roller coaster thing that you ride to get off and solve the first batch of puzzles. Wow, is it pretty? Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Does the remake still have any FMV stuff, or is it all replaced?
No, so it's all replaced. So that was an issue with the relatively recent Myst remake. It also replaced the FMV with real-time 3D, but it didn't look very good. They look like PS3 characters.
That's my thing, man.
They patched in the FMV guys into Myst, which worked actually pretty well. It was great.
I would probably do that because like if I'm gonna play Myst, I kind of want some of that FMV flavor in there, man.
Right. Now the issue with Riven is because they were more ambitious with how the FMV was integrated into the game. They're much more in the scenes. It's really not an option to use the old footage. In fact, I believe they even like re-recorded a lot of the dialogue and added story stuff. So, but whatever technology stack they're using from Myst to Riven, the characters I've met like look a million times better. Like they look like proper modern AAA real-time characters. Like you meet Atris in the very beginning, and it looks good.
Okay,
so
good.
like that's fine. It's actually very fine, and it's still Rand Miller voicing Atris, which is awesome. Because I like that character a lot. So like I said, again, DAWNTRAIL's kind of taking over everything right now, but I'll finish this. I want to see this one through because I really like it.
I still want to do a Myst playthrough at some point here, but
that recent that Myst remake that came out is very, very good. I did play through that, and it's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I do want to. Again, I'm kind of thrown off how I play it because I want part of me is like, oh no, I just want to play original Myst with the slideshow moving and the FMV. But if the remake's good, and if I can maybe mod in just the FMV, like people at least, that might be enough.
Well, here's the cool thing. Riven, I don't think Riven did this. I didn't see the option, but the Myst did, where it'll randomize some puzzle solutions so that like you can't rely on past knowledge necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That can be good though if you're streaming it and you don't want like chat to like just give you all the answers. They can guide you.
Chat will behave or else I'll hurt them. They understand.
Okay, good.
I'll shame them publicly.
And I need to try the VR support too. That was cool in Myst as well, and I bet that'd be fun in Riven.
Do you think they're gonna do anything with Myst 3?
I'd love it if oh my god, if they did a proper Myst 3 remake, Mike. Oh, game of the year. Guaranteed.
But that game did such a good job of integrating the FMV in there, and I imagine they would do, they'd just do CG character models again. But like, I want
as long as it's still Brad Dourif,
right? Like, I don't want him to recast Brad Dourif, and like, there was good acting in Myst 3, right? There was some good stuff.
Brad Dourif was incredible in that game, yeah. And that's the thing, like you're getting in Myst 3 and 4, aside from resolution, maybe they at least do like the 360 bubbles, where it felt good enough to real time that like it didn't bother. It wasn't as slideshowy feeling.
Yeah,
Myst 4 especially. Myst 4 had a ton of like little interactive bits you could click on, and they moved like
Yeah, part of me is almost like if there's something I wish AI could do is just upscale Myst 3 the way it is, I'd kind of be good with that.
Right.
If you just had 4K Myst 3, that'd be all I need. Pretty much.
Man, I like Myst. I like Myst a lot.
I do like that there was a time where Myst was the biggest game in the world. Right?
I know, right? Like that was the #1 selling game of all time until
PC
was
game.
It The Sims that
Sims
usurped
or
it?
something,
I think,
yeah.
at the start. Yeah,
it's a big deal. That was a big deal.
Yeah, it was. It was. Mike, you've heard of Tyrus Land?
No, I have not.
This is I believe it's a Korean MMO, but its whole thing
like
is not only is it on
too?
PC. Yeah, along those lines. But it's also on mobile with crossplay. So it's like a trying to be a legit MMO that you can play on your phone and on your computer.
Why are you playing this Korean MMO?
Because DAWNTRAIL wasn't out yet because it was 2 weeks ago. I was curious because I wanted to see truly like how good it could feel on the phone. And truth be told, it's not bad. Like going through the dungeons and I'm playing as a bard as a DPS class. Like that's all great. You have a rotation. You're playing an MMO, but it is like a hilariously bad translation.
Yeah,
just like, and it's all voice acted, and it feels like a late '90s Japanese game coming to America, and they like got like the office staff who could speak English to do these characters. It's incredible. Like honestly, I'm surprised like they were okay with releasing it the way it is. So if you want to play an okay MMO on your phone with really like so bad it's funny storyline, check out that, I guess.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to.
You didn't win me over.
I did not expect you to play an MMO on your phone.
Yeah, you know how much I love playing things on my phone.
Yes.
If the Diablo game on my phone didn't get me, the Korean MMO doesn't have a chance.
That's very true. Although makes it sound like people like that game now again.
Immortal? I don't believe them.
Yeah. It's on PC. You can play it there.
Sure.
Hey, did you play that Starfield DLC update they did?
Sure didn't.
So here, I'm actually going to complain about Starfield a little bit.
Wow! Oh, now you've got my attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to make being a Starfield hater part of my personality. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So they added like the creation kit and like the mods like that are built into the game, like they did with Skyrim and Fallout 4. And they did the thing where there are some paid ones, and some of them are actually from Bethesda, right? So one of the free things in this patch was a new faction that's like bounty hunters. Okay. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And you sign up with them, and you go into their kind of headquarters, and there's a bounty board, and there's like a guy on it. Okay, so that's like the mission you do. And I'm like, okay, how do you get more missions? You got to pay $7 for the next one, Mike.
Of course. Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So, like it's one of the paid DLCs in the Creation Club thing. Now because I had like the deluxe edition of the game, they gave me $10 worth of the credits. Well, okay, I guess I'll get this and try it. It's fine. I mean, it's a decent bounty hunting mission that is almost more about like you get like some unique armor, so it's like you're paying for like both the mission and the armor. I don't
understand why do you have to pay for this? There's hundreds of planets with all this emergent gameplay waiting for you. Why do you have to spend money on some random storyline? There's millions of storylines that could happen out in the universe.
Yeah, not so much because like it has like a generic bounty board, and they're fun if you like the gameplay of Starfield. And again, this is like my kind of turn off my brain and chill thing. But like, you pick up bounty, go to this planet, there's a building or a mine or whatever, go inside and kill this guy. And that's fine, But so going back to that first mission, and this is one of the issues I do have with Starfield, and this is like the worst offender of it. And Bethesda games in general do this, where like when you gotta get to the end of something, but there's still characters that persist from that story or mission, they kind of just stop doing anything, but they're still just there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you beat Starfield. You unlock the thing at the end. I'll be vague, I guess, just in case.
Sure.
And really, all those main characters from Constellation don't really have anything to do anymore, but they're there. They just like stopped evolving as people.
It's just awkward. It's just they're frozen in time now forever.
Exactly. So I'm gonna spoil this mission. Deal with it, I guess. If you haven't played it by now, you don't care.
Oh no.
So the whole bounty is you're trying to find this guy who takes stolen ships, and he has like a chop shop in an abandoned space station, right? and you find an informant on the one planet who's going to take you to where he is because you threaten him, and you get there. Long story short, you find out this informant you captured was actually the guy you were looking for all along. He tricked you, right? Now, when you go to his chop shop, you take a acquired ship that your partner in this bounty hunting organization has, and your partner has made it a very big deal. He's about to break the record for the most bounties consecutively completed without anything going wrong, and he's like mad that he's being paired with the rookie because he doesn't want anything to ruin his record, right? Sure. So you have this ship that's you're gonna drive to the chop shop, and this informant guy's gonna be like, "Hey, I found this ship. I'm just gonna drop it off," and that's how you sneak in, right? And you tell this guy before you go, like, "Well, I have like a crew. Should we bring them?" And he's like, "No, we don't need them, but I guess that's up to you. I'm gonna bring my crew." So I'm in this ship with like 4 companions, right? So at the end of this mission,
Sean called me out so hard in chat. He's like, "Mike is gone, lol. I'm trying so hard to focus. AJ, please continue." Please continue describing this Starfield side quest to me.
You tied up this guy on your ship so he can't get away, right? And also in this ship are 4 of my best friends, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
You can see where this is going.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking on the radio, stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's like, "Haha, I tricked you. I'm gonna fly this ship away now, and it's mine. Don't worry, I left you a shitty ship so you can get away because I'm not that bad of a guy, and I'm gonna disappear now, so goodbye forever." And I'm sitting there thinking, but like, my 4 best friends are on that ship. Why are they letting this happen? And then the ship flies away, and I'm like, are my 4 best friends still on that ship?
That's right. I have to admit it, Jay. That's pretty fucking stupid.
But then I get in this shitty ship this guy left me, and there's my 4 best friends. I'm like, how'd you guys get here? Because, in the game logic, this is just your ship now. So that's where the NPCs go.
They've just been reprogrammed.
Okay. So that happens. So that happened. Okay, well, we got to find this guy, right? We got to go figure out where he went. And so you go back to the headquarters and you talk to number 1, and he's like, we'll never find him now. And I'm like, well, we know what he looks like. And like, yeah, but he could be anywhere. And I'm like, well, should we go look for him? No, that's the end of the mission. That's it.
Right.
He got away.
Wait, he actually steals your ship?
Yes.
Wait, for real?
And again, not your ship. It's like the ship the mission gives you to be like the decoy ship.
Oh, that's just it.
That would have actually. But so then I go to the guy.
I must have missed that part for some reason.
The guy who went on and on about how like the rookie better not ruin my streak. You think he'd be upset, right?
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine. He's totally fine. I'm like, just nothing about this makes sense.
You paid $7 for this.
No, that was the free one.
Oh, good.
The $7 one is completely unrelated. It's a new bounty, new characters, has nothing to do with that guy.
Stop playing Starfield, AJ. It sucks. I'm sorry.
No,
I changed my mind. And maybe it is my personality. You can do so much better. Play Witcher 3. Blood and Wine, they say it's great. They say all these people are saying it's fantastic. For the love of God, AJ, you could do so much better.
But there's like, I can play Starfield pretty mindlessly now because my character's powerful enough.
I just like it.
I just like getting in there and doing stuff.
But
yeah, I will admit that was all kind of dumb.
I am curious to see what
the mission was fine. The space station was like 0G. You're fighting these guys in 0G.
Oh.
Like that was great.
I don't know. 0G is ruined for me because of all the times I had to fly into a mini Starfield getting a new stupid power.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll be curious to see what that expansion does. Speaking of expansions.
No, Sean, I'm playing DAWNTRAIL. This was pre-DAWNTRAIL. I'm only playing DAWNTRAIL right now.
Yeah, so thank God. Okay, well.
All right, Mike. What are you playing? What old games are you playing?
Well, I am playing through Bloodstained Ritual Night. In fact, I am on the final boss, and I will be beating that tonight. And I really enjoyed it. It really is just another one of those like EGA Metroidvania, Castlevania games, and that's exactly what I was craving. And it is specifically very much in that Aria of Sorrow mode. So yeah, it was just really fun. It was I don't know why I didn't get into it the first time around. I don't know why I was so thrown off by the story, because it's not that pervasive.
Well, It is in the beginning.
It's
the beginning is
front-loaded.
a lot of talking.
I think
and that's why I fell off. I was like, okay, no one will shut up.
it really does. Like, it's not ever that bad again. It's like normal EGA Metroidvania stuff after that, where you see some characters sometimes and they talk and it's not very important, and you kind of glaze over, like when your brother describes in detail a long mission in Starfield. But yeah, you move on with your life and you play the fun video game, and it's great. But yeah, so I'm excited to beat that tonight. And then, I don't know if I'm going to immediately start Order of Ecclesia, because I did buy that recently. Maybe I might plug in my DS and do some old DS stuff. It might be fun. Been playing Psychonauts also for the Game S Game Club. I'm a little bit behind, but I've been making good progress on that front. That game is good. It's I did some of the more popular levels in it recently, like the kind of Godzilla level, which is neat.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Milkman level.
Yeah. So you got into the meat circus.
I think that's the last level, the infamous last level that people hate for some reason because it's difficult.
I couldn't remember where it fell in the order. I just remember, yeah,
it's pretty late, so we'll see. I will say it's funny how, like, I feel like there should be more platforming in the game, right? Like, every level kind of has a gimmick sometimes, and I'm like, I wish this level's gimmick was that as a platformer. I think Psychonauts 2 is very good with that, where there is a lot of platforming, and then you still have the gimmicks that kind of change things up, but the focus is still on that platforming a lot of the times. But I'm still having a good time with it. The writing's still very good.
It's in my my work office, but I do have still my box from the PC version signed by Tim Schafer that says, AJ, I made this game just for you.
Yeah, I showed off my Xbox copy is signed, so I was showing that off too, so that's neat.
Yeah, that's how small Double Fine used to be, everybody. When you pre-order their game, the owner of the company would sign it with a personalized message.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good deal back then.
Seriously.
All right, Jay.
Remember,
what?
Real quick, remember we were at I think it was the first PAX East, and Double Fine was showing off that Iron Brigade game, and Tim Schafer was like giving the demos, so we like got in his line, and then when we were coming up, he like left, and we were like, no, Tim Schafer.
I kind of forgot that.
I don't really want to play the game. I just wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't really care about. Man, I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
Ed, do you want to read the rest of the super chats?
Yeah, we got a few more. The last chance if you want to get one in. Beach Raven says, Happy 4th. Please tell Sean that his Evo talk in Giant Bomb has been awesome, and we're looking forward to hearing how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, you going to Evo?
You hear that, Sean?
I am going to Evo. Just be clear, I am not competing this year. I am there. Well, first of all, vacation adjacent, but also to work. I will be working at Evo this year. I got
He's
for
on
press
assignment.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and maybe that
worker, man.
Maybe that expanded in interesting way that I can talk about later.
All right.
Did you guys see that Deadpool comic panel where he makes a joke about Marvel vs. Capcom 4? That I think people are reading too much into, but still.
That's just Deadpool being Deadpool.
Right. It's also just a comic writer doing a thing. I don't think he got some directive from like Capcom to tease a video game.
Maybe.
No.
But anyways, if anyone's going to Evo, make sure you say hi, especially if you want to be made part of a video that I'm doing.
Ooh,
there you go.
I'm going to Evo.
I'm not, sadly. So hopefully next year.
Yeah, go. Yeah, everybody should
go Evo this year. Or is it always the same place?
It's always Vegas, I believe.
Yeah,
is it Vegas?
Yeah, it's always Vegas. It's a new location within Vegas this year. But
fun.
Yeah.
Sean, go ride the monorail in Vegas. Is there still a monorail there?
Oh, there's monorails there. Yes. Yeah, we did it.
Ride the monorail.
Listen to 90s Disney about monorails and then ride the Vegas monorail, Sean. He'll be great.
I saw someone, because, the FGC looks out for each other and they were posting some deals. I saw apparently there's like a weekend monorail pass you can get for $20 as a special that weekend.
Oh, baby.
So maybe I will. Yeah,
Did you know that's called monorail because it rides on one rail?
All right. Time to
Anyways.
All right, AJ.
Mike just learned that this week.
Any more super chats,
No
AJ?
way.
One more from Zubimer, who says, Are ZZ0 girls as dominant as Kafka? She's hot.
Zuber, I gotta be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Christian, you want to answer this one?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for the super chat, Zuber. Appreciate it. Well, all right then.
That is it for the super chats.
Should I start playing us out, AJ?
I guess so.
Yeah, you're not going to hear it, but don't worry. I'll start talking in a panicked
I
voice
believe you.
when it gets louder. All right, thank you, AJ, so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun talking about video game expansions and DAWNTRAIL and that thing that happened to you in Starfield.
We're breaking the internet, people.
We're breaking it. Well, yeah, that was earlier in the podcast when you broke the internet. I think, yeah, you could rival Kim K with that one.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it was good stuff. AJ, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, 90s Disney. Like Mike said, we just did a very fun episode about the monorail. Even though it goes back to the 1820s, we had it on 90s Disney. And we're going to next month have an episode on Typhoon Lagoon. That'll be very fun. So check out 90sdisney.com for that.
Yeah, thank you, AJ, and thank you, Sean, for joining me, even though it's a holiday. I do appreciate it. Christian,
Christian, it's a Thursday.
Your attendance was mandatory, but so appreciate you being here. But no, it's weird that like tomorrow's Friday. This day has so many Saturday vibes. Jess should be back next week, although.
You'll be gone.
I'm going to be out on Thursday. I can't actually say why, but I'm traveling for work. So Jeff's going to have to get somebody to cover on Thursday. I'm going to leave on Wednesday. We still can't do Blight Club. Damn it! I have to leave on Wednesday. So I know Jeff really is getting a nice break there. I think he could use it, honestly.
No, all of his Daikatana skills are going to atrophy.
No, he's on a new world now. His weapons reset. Oh no, he started doing some of it. He had to like go around some weird medieval town and get a crossbow. It looks terrible. I'm so glad.
What a fucking weird
I'm so glad I pinned him with Daikatana before he could get me with it. That would have been the worst thing that could have happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, gosh. I don't know. The music's still playing. I think Jeff normally plays this. I thought it would have...
We don't know how to talk because we don't hear the music.
Yeah,
so
well, it's not. I wish
it's up to you.
This is. Oh, it's happening! Thank God! All right, bye, everybody.
Shit! Fuck!
Caw! Till I see evidence that the world is round, I'm not believing a damn thing.
I have been plenty horny, thank you.
It's hard, Jeff. It's hard.
That guy is pretty hot.
I mean, yeah.
I beat it.
Oh, you beat it?